tales of our endeavors proliferate.
I love how the chat's already acting it before we start.
Oh yeah.
I remember hearing that Zim really liked that too.
I'm not too much of a fan of it.
Rex the Cat, Hyena Bully, Power Stone 05. Those are all friends that I know.
Oh, I've been talking to a muted mic this whole time. They've been able to hear you this for a little bit now.
Oh, come on!
Not that much.
Steadfast supporter.
Fucking hell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Roops and Reptiles D&D. Well, all they heard was you talking about how you like that people are active already.
Good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get going.
Number 15. Apologize. So,
We are missing a cobalt.
we're missing.
Oh,
I think we're.
oh!
Good.
I didn't click my character. There we go.
All the
Okay.
people! Hello, everyone! Okay, I'll let Delva
Hi.
take over.
Every single time I try to do the intro, you just go ahead and do your own.
Hello, everyone.
But anyways,
Yes, well, hello everyone in chat. How are you doing tonight?
No, it's more of like
Today.
it's more like a hello,
afternoon.
everyone.
yes, slap my
begin?
knee and go, hello everyone, really, really fast.
Hello, everyone.
Slap. Hello everyone, except I'm screaming and also like really loud into the mic. Also, I've got a face cam. Also, I dyed my hair. I've got a sick
Really?
gaming chair and like spiky foam behind me.
The spiky
You mean
foam is.
sound dampening foam?
I was
Yeah.
about to say, the spiky foam is important for streaming and YouTubing.
I mean, no, it's multicolored, so you know it looks good behind me.
Got egg cartons.
You got that?
You got
What?
fashion and function.
I'm actually sponsored by
Disney.
Oh, we are not
No.
sponsored by Taco Bell yet. They still aren't replying to my tweets.
That's the
Hey,
goal.
listen,
That's the end goal.
do you know how long it took Aaron Hansen to get sponsored by Wendy's?
I don't know, but I want to be sponsored by Taco Bell. I would be happy to sit here eating tacos on stream every night.
I bet you would.
Hear that, Taco Bell?
Crunch,
I mean,
crunch,
you
crunch.
you can stream dinner with friends, just eating Taco Bell.
Drinking,
Alright,
really enjoying my my store brand Everest Drop.
turns on the camera to show the bottle.
Very
Turns off the camera.
very distinct lemon lime flavor. Very good, very fresh.
All right, Eric, I need you to roll a.
Mmm. Rip it up.
Ow, that hurt.
TM.
Wait, you want me to
Trademark.
rip it?
Rip it. Do some rip its.
Rip it good.
Should we
Alright.
start the stream or?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I mean, the stream is started. You mean the session?
Yeah, I mean actually like doing things other than bullshitting.
That's
Yes, please.
what we do.
Okay.
best, though.
Great idea.
So,
I want to get
Last time
sponsored
on-
specifically by Sam's Choice Purified.
Yeah, this is great. Let's play the
swear
game.
to Christ, if I try to do the intro one more time and someone interrupts me, I'm just gonna leave. Alright? So,
Crazy Danger
Last
Cato,
time-
thank you very much for those 100 bits.
Goodbye,
Goddamn
Dova.
God dang it, Dova left.
did I tell you?
Look what you've done.
Okay, we're done.
Tear this family apart.
Christ. I want
That's why
to
we
get
can't
I
have
want to
nice
get at
things.
least 3 words in. fucking intro.
3 words in. That's
Okay,
3.
so this intro comes to us from
Alright, that was 3 words, so hi
from,
everybody!
Infel. I didn't even start the intro yet. I'm still fucking. Oh my god.
Mute
Yeah,
them.
you did. You said this comes from Infil.
Last time on Rooms and Reptiles, we continued building our village, but one night we were under attack by little frog people who were attacking us with poison. I rushed out to take as many of their attacks as I could and found something else. A drow that was wearing armor, like in the golem's painting. They were very strong, but I took their life in the end. After they fell, however, the frogs, or at least the surviving ones, fled. Cobalt captured one, so I suppose we'll see what happens. So, we will continue this time as where we left off last session. The party had defended their encampment from an attack by a group of... Oh, what were they called again? Grungs.
Grungs. That's what they were.
Grungs. A species of jungle-dwelling frog-like humanoids, brightly covered and highly poisonous. They basically just, came in and attacked. And yes, as soon as the leader fell, that the drow wearing some segmented bronze armor with a solid sort of angular faceplate, the grung disappeared into the underbrush, fleeing as fast as they could, except for one, which Cobalt has taken prisoner.
Yes.
Which one did you take? You took
I took a red one, I think.
you took the red one.
One of the red ones. I think
No,
it
I
the
was
other
an
one.
elite warrior. It was one of the yellow ones.
Yes, it was this one, the one that's still visible. Okay.
No, he was an Egyptian, but he was a pharaoh trapped in a puzzle box.
Is this a meme?
I don't get it.
Crazy meme.
We have minor ethereal influence. I will post it to
Already?
Dova so he can do what he wants with it.
Goodness. Sure.
What happened?
How's this gonna happen? So, what's everybody doing?
You know, I think that's one of my favorite parts about the ethereal influence, is when viewers give us little things like that we can then twist into our own little way. Really find a real way to put it in. Anyways.
What is...
I'm pushing cage.
Alright.
I think someone's helping me with that because I'm weak.
I will help. Do we have a cage?
It's a cage that Cobalt has summoned.
I will go get a more permanent cage. Or
Alright.
go build one.
I'm dragging the bodies back.
Do we still have
Alright.
an actual, do we still have one of those points of, lucky?
I believe you used up the last one.
That's right.
And, I believe that's Infel who had to reconnect. We still cannot hear you, in case you're trying to talk.
I
Alright,
can talk.
Brick.
Wasn't...
I just heard Infel.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I was, what about Cobalt? He hasn't talked in a while. Check your muting, my man. Well, it shows that you're talking, but I'm not getting any audio. Oh, there you go. I'm getting sounds from you, Cobalt.
I heard part of it.
Well, if
I
you
didn't
can
hear any
me,
of
I
it.
can't hear you.
Oh, there
Or
it is.
anyone.
Really now?
Unfortunate.
Gee, dang it. It's always when we start is that the audio problems.
What kills the
Emerge.
party? Tech issues.
Always. I swear to God. Anyways, we will try to push on as Cobalt fixes that. Info, what are you doing?
Let's see. Well, I suppose I'd probably be going to gather the bodies if there are still some left, because they still had poison on them, and I'd rather it not. I'd rather none of our unsuspecting kobolds touch them and accidentally get themselves poisoned.
I'm gonna guess that you are wearing gloves for this.
I'm immune to poison, but sure, why not?
That'll also do it.
And I rolled a really high con save when I was picking up the bodies.
Yes, that is correct. I remember that. So, you all are you both would be able to move the bodies wherever you would want without much issue. Rock, you feel a little lightheaded at the end of it, but otherwise okay.
He's gonna start chopping up the drow body
Okay.
and taking its teeth.
Are you? Sure. Alright. Intel's about to be slightly opposed to this because we're not sure if we should be desecrating a body, even of our foe, but on the other hand, he really didn't like it.
Raku's gonna set up some a wood frame so we can burn the bodies.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm not gonna tell you what the problem was because it's embarrassing.
Okay. I mean, you can
You,
tell me. And I
didn't have it
probably
set
won't tell
to,
everyone.
My headset's volume was all the way down.
Congrats.
Thanks. What I
Nice.
miss?
we just-
Nothing really. We're
we
just
finished the campaign.
doing a loot. Yeah, it's actually that. We had 10 minutes. We just kind of finished it right up.
None shall see me. Though my battle cry may give me away.
So, Cobalt, as you are helping with getting the cage moved into the encampment, you're pushing pretty hard on it. Although, as far as I'm aware, nobody else is helping you at the moment. As you kind of move around to pull it, a particularly strong gust of wind sort of whips through the area just in front of the gate, and that thunderstorm that had been clearing up for a little bit suddenly gives a very, very dense downpour. The wind whipping up almost directly in your face and completely soaking the front of your face. It almost feels intentional, Cobalt. Like someone somewhere has spited you.
Well, the collar just the collar helps keep me dry.
And it is doing a decent job, though, with the amount of water that's being showered onto you this entire time. You're starting to feel rather cold and unpleasant.
That's fine. It's just the weather.
Rock
Surely
would
nothing's angry at me.
chopping up arms and legs. He would help Cobalt bring in the
Jesus
cage.
Christ. Go ahead and give me a survival check, Rock.
That one kind of sucked.
You don't have any issues really cutting up most. It doesn't seem that he, as you come to find out, is wearing any clothes underneath the armor. The armor itself, it doesn't actually seem to be attached with any sort of leather straps, any buckles and harnesses. It seems to almost have been grafted onto his skin. and you can kind of just rip the pieces off and kind of toss them in a pile. The head, you're kind of excited to get some drow teeth because you've never seen drow teeth. But when you got up to it, you see that the neck kind of just ends sort of at the chin line of the helmet, where it's a completely solid bottom. You kind of tug on it, and you can see that it's attached somewhere within the helmet, but it's almost fused onto his head. Nearly seamless at the bottom.
Okay, he'll just take off the head.
All right, with a little bit of a strong pull, you can kind of basically just rip his head off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The helmet itself is actually fairly heavy, about 10 to 20-ish pounds. But the actual metal of this armor is not something you've really dealt with before. It's colored like bronze, though it feels much, much lighter and has this very, very dense, almost stone-like feel to it.
Would my knowledge of smithing help me identify what this is? At least, like, rumors-wise.
Give me a history check.
That makes sense.
Nothing's really coming to mind at the moment.
He'll take the armor too. Something to play with.
As you kind of just pick it all up in your arms, a little piece drops off every so often, and kind of sinks into the mud a little bit. But you manage to kind of bring it where you want.
I'm gonna put it near my little smithing area, but then I'm gonna take the body parts back to the mansion.
Okay. Some of the kobolds look at you rather strangely as you carry in what looks to be the remains of a drow. Actually, that's exactly what you're carrying in.
I'm just smiling.
A handful actually follow you. Just curious to see what you're actually planning to do with it.
I'm gonna go feed my plant.
Oh, Christ.
I don't know why you're surprised.
I just didn't think you would think that would all fit. Also, I completely forgot about it for a few moments.
That's what I'm here for.
Well, he's a very good owner.
Yes, he is. He's a very
yeah.
good. Does he have any mail?
I don't know. Were you expecting any mail?
Wasn't Squidface gonna contact him when he got a hold?
Oh, of the who was he trying to contact?
His mount buddy.
Oh, yes. You have not received anything of that sort yet.
Okay. I just imagine he's gonna go into the mansion, flip the mailbox open with his tail, sigh, and then just go to his room.
Hey, Dova.
Yeah?
Do I have any mail regarding the magic exchange thing?
Sorry, I need to look back through the spells that you needed.
Okay.
I believe you actually got an offer for someone to give you Rary's telepathic bond.
Oh wait, did I already get that one?
You might want to check.
Level was that? Fifth.
Yeah,
I already have it.
Okay. Oh no, someone wanted to. Someone wanted to learn enlarge, reduce from you as you open up the letter addressed to you from the magic exchange place.
All right, cool. I'll do that.
All right.
Teleportation circle.
Very well. I need to organize my notes. This is actually just terrible.
Just color coordinate the chaos. That's what I do.
That would probably help.
I mean, what do you think Rock does with all the teeth in his downtime? That's color coordinated and alphabetized.
I mean, how well can you color coordinate teeth?
You'd be
think-
surprised.
You'd think
Depends
most of
on the
them would
gum,
be.
age.
Mm.
You can clean them up afterwards.
The different roots, different colors. No, bleeds red, but everything does
Level
bleed.
of damage.
I mean, Rock usually only gets like the well-off teeth, right? Not the rotted ones or anything.
I don't know. I got a wyvern skull that is lining the outside of the pile,
That's
And
more
it got
than
a-
teeth.
and it got a bunch of orc teeth. It's a big pile. It looks like something at a museum. Indiana Rock. In the Temple of Dentures.
Jesus Christ.
And here on the next display is Rock's ravenous root canal.
This
And
specimen
your
gathered by-
Cobalt, your teleportation circle leads you to.
is to the magic exchange place.
Yes, but it's my stuff is organized under city. Is it
Could be
Delthuntal?
Yes, I think.
Excellent.
Oh no, enchanting incantation is its own thing.
Hmm.
Although I don't think it's called that anymore. Was it Delphontal?
I believe so.
Alright, cool. There
Alright.
we go.
So, you are whisked away on your teleportation circle into a rather warm circular room with decor that is very much different from the last time you came. The theme has changed from a sort of almost sterile sort of open plan, stone floor, everything very clean, very minimalist, to now almost overflowing with soft, comfy chairs, very thick, soft rugs on the ground, on the stone ground, or the stone floor. Sorry, and various decorations, paintings, stuff like that, adorning the walls.
Alright, cool. It seems a lot more fancy.
Upon arriving, almost like a front desk, a receptionist greets you from her desk, saying, "Welcome to Miss Abuchadnezzar's House of Wonders. We apologize for being under new management again, but I'm sure you will find the transition to be completely painless. You are here for an appointment, yes?"
Yes, and I'm gonna take out the little letter about the thing.
Ah, wonderful. I believe your counterpart will be here shortly. If you'll just find a place to sit.
Alright, Kobold's gonna climb onto like a bench or something and kind of swing his legs as he's waiting.
All right. What's everybody else doing? We'll go with Infel for now.
I'm probably checking over all our crew to make sure I don't know. Maybe there were some that escaped our sight and got to them.
Okay. Checking over the crew, you find that there were almost everybody is very sort of calm and collected. They didn't seem to have been sort of shaken by the combat too much. And you can even find some of them still sort of excitedly talking about what you all did, sort of dramatizing the combat itself with each other, sort of acting as either the frogs or one of you. Almost in a sort of like a childlike game of pretend.
Oh, they're darlings. Well, I suppose they're fine then. I better go look at the one Cobalt has in a cage. Make sure it's okay.
I believe this one was actually hit by. No, it dodged the acid. I believe it was hit by a fireball pretty hard. Some of its normally moist, slick skin is actually back up just a second. How long does that conjuration last? And also, what's the range on it, Cobalt?
It lasts for an hour, and I can be as far away from as I want from it. But
Okay,
I was intending on like restraining him in some other way before it runs out.
And Eric's, you do have a cage ready?
I was working on one. I don't know if
how
it
so?
succeeded or a rope that we would have, strong branches that I could find, so on.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check. I'd say with advantage since you have so many people around you to help. You could just grab a few kobolds to help make a cage with you.
Wouldn't this be survival?
Yeah, probably would be.
Cool.
Alright. You're able to make a cage that is strong enough to hold a single, rather robust warrior. At the moment, he's very calmly sort of watching his surroundings as you build the cage around his cage. And as it dissipates, he's left in the bigger cage. You're no expert on body language, but you can tell that he's a practiced warrior who knows not to give any tells if he's ever captured. To stay calm and quiet and sort of wait for an opening.
Oh, well, I guess I'm not here right now.
Yeah.
What an inopportune time. Alright, cool. I was just gonna talk to him with the helmet and see why they were attacking us and, figure out what their deal is.
You're still gone, my man.
I know, but I probably would have told Raku or Eric's about what I was gonna do before I left.
So you would have left the helmet then?
Well, it's not my helmet. I mean, I know Raku generously let me borrow it last time.
No. Raku took it back.
Well, then why'd you
Remember?
ask if I gave you someone the helmet?
Because I forgot that Raku, that it wasn't even yours to have.
That's what I thought. All
Just
right.
seeing if you're
What's up?
paying attention.
You were
Raku
so
tried to,
afraid.
Cobalt tried to take your helmet at the conclusion of last week's session.
I heard that he borrowed it. And that's
You
fine.
gave
but
it to me
you
so
keep it.
willingly. You were very
Raku-
nice last session.
Raku took it back after coming to his senses. because he didn't give me a moment to respond to that. He's just like, "Hey Raku, thanks for letting me borrow the helmet."
I wasn't doing anything. That was Raku speaking. He was suddenly very, very kind and agreeable last session.
He had
For
a very
some
squeaky
reason.
voice.
Yeah.
I know, maybe he was sick or something. I don't know. I hope he
Oh,
gets
did he
better.
kind of sound like this?
No, he sounded more tolerable than that.
Very nice and gave me all of his money
And all his magic items.
with no questions asked.
He complimented me quite a bit too. That was very nice.
Here's the thing: if I gave you all my magic items, that would include Charlotte. I'm sure she would not be happy about that.
She'd be pissed.
Hmm.
So- Cobalt.
Yes.
After around half an hour of just kind of relaxing, every so often, a lobby attendant kind of makes a trip around all the people waiting with a silver tray, or what looks to be silver, full of various hors d'oeuvres and sort of
None
little
shall
treats.
see me. Though my battle cry may give me away.
There's some deviled eggs, what looks to be the claw of a small lobster or some sort of other crustacean.
Ooh.
Snake's heads actually. They look to be cooked for a very, very long time as to make the bones very soft. And finally, there's very, very small cupcakes.
Ooh. Okay, so he's gonna have quite a bit of deviled eggs, a few of those claw things. He's gonna stay away from the snakes, and he's probably gonna eat more cupcakes than he probably should.
As your counterpart arrives, you are feeling bloated and truly full of various little snacks that are probably not too healthy for you.
Awesome. Exactly what I wanted.
They are delicious, though.
Perfect. All right, cool.
I'll get to it.
I was trying to remember what my prices were.
Well, you're gonna have to remember fast as your contact sort of reaches out to shake your hand. It's a relatively middle-aged looking bald man with a short white beard. He has some blue traveling robes on with a knapsack by his side
I'm gonna
as he
grip a
sort of
couple
shakes his hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna grip a couple of his fingers and shake his hand. Probably can't-
Oliver, and you're
I'm Cobalt. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you as well. As he kind of nervously stands for a moment before sitting down. Yeah, you, I believe I would like to buy one of your access to one of your spells, please.
Oh yeah. And he's gonna snap his fingers and make Liam and Secret Chest appear. And
Can
take
I-
out his real spell book.
It thuds softly on the rug.
And he's gonna as he flips to the page, he's gonna say, "That'll be 15 gold, please."
Oh. This is for the enlarge and reduce spell, right?
Yeah, hold on, that's a level 1 spell, right?
I mean, I
Oh, sorry. I know I'm talking to
certainly
myself.
agree with those prices.
My bad. Can we pretend I said 30? I thought it was a level 1 spell. I'm trying to do 15 gold per spell level. I thought it was level 1. But yeah, 30
Kind
gold.
of reaches down to his knapsack, reaches around for a minute. You hear the faint sound of coin jingling. He kind of faintly feels at it. Yes, I think 30 gold will be excellent.
Alright, we do the exchange and I give him the book.
All right. He
Open
hands
to the page
over
already.
30 rather clean gold pieces and begins to copy the spell down from your. Well, compared to him, it's a somewhat small spell book.
It's like a
As he
notebook.
opens a what?
It's like a little notebook
Yeah.
for him.
As he brings out a rather robust tome and starts to copy it down. Eric's.
Yes.
As you are finishing up the cage, a handful of kobolds, Zell included, sort of slowly emerge from the airship. They seem to be just sort of looking out, and then eventually spot you and sort of wave you over into the cover of the airship's hold.
I will go over.
As you proceed underneath the airship, there's a large sort of wooden blockade that's been placed just under the keel that sort of lets it rest on the ground, and kind of behind that, between that and the wall, there's been set up a small dining area. A table has been built along with a handful of stools and handmade chairs, and resting smack dab in the middle of the table are two cakes. You're not sure where they ended up getting materials to make this, but as you sort of round the corner and you get downwind of it, the smells delight you.
Wait, the kobolds made cakes?
The kobolds make cake.
Did kobold teach them to do that?
You're not sure. As Zell kind of grabs you on the shoulder kind of lightly and says, we really just wanted to, because I don't know if we did it properly before, but we wanted to show our appreciation at everything you guys are doing for us.
You guys are the best.
Well, thank you.
And there's also the fact that cake is delicious, so we had to improvise with some of the stuff. We couldn't get eggs. We got a handful, but they're just from like little songbirds. I think I'll spare you the details, but we got them made, and I think you're gonna like it.
Well, do dig in with me. Cake is meant to be shared.
Of course. He kind of pats himself down and looks over to one of the other kobolds. He says, "Where's my knife? Did you?" "Oh, it's actually in the table," and you can see his dagger is just kind of dug into the wood of the table. As he kind of reaches up, pries it off, and starts to cut the cake.
Infel will look over at Eric's for a reaction.
I will just, well, in this day and age, that's kind of common, honestly.
Yeah, but is this wood from your ship, perhaps, or?
I figured it's just another table, so I'm not that worried. Also, Infel, change your icon.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I will invite everybody else over. Everybody enjoy some cake.
Hey, Dova, am I
Plus, if
back
I
by
get
the time
sick
we-
from this, everybody else is too.
Not me.
By the time you would finish up, yes. You would make it back about 10 or so minutes after they actually cut the cake.
Sweet.
So as you
We'll get-
return, you smell the faint scent of more cake. And even though your stomach is almost full to the brim,
Bonus cake.
Dova, you forget about the special secret dessert stomach that is
Mhm.
always empty in the presence of dessert.
true.
Rock won't
Oops.
pass on cake. He doesn't
This
like
must
sweets.
be a really heavy cake.
Raku will opt for baguette.
Like dense.
It is one of them is basically pound cake. The other one is much more light and fluffy, though both of them have a faint sort of off taste to them. One of which the light and fluffy one is a red velvet. What it looks like, and the other one is basically just sort of a yellow cake. Very, very dense though. There's a little bit of frosting on the white velvet, as well as the yellow cake. Both of them will look to be just sugar frosting. So, and forgive me if I'm incorrect, but to make frosting is basically just powdered sugar and like a little bit of
You
water.
don't even need powdered sugar. I made frosting with some regular grain sugar.
No, and it's
It was
just
a
that.
tiny bit crunchy, but I appreciated the texture.
Ooh, that's good. All right. As the first day comes to a close. Sorry, this is like the second or third day that you guys have been on this island.
We already
It's
have a wall and a town hall, and we're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dova.
What's up?
In my free time, I'm gonna spend more time domesticating that mouse, making
Okay.
it friendly toward people.
Um,
Reptiles.
we need animal handling check.
Okay. Animal handling. Just because I can, I'm gonna use lucky for that. there we
Be
go.
aware you have not had a long rest since the combat.
Correct. I didn't even use a lucky point during combat.
Excellent. So, you feel that in almost I'm trying to think of it. A stroke of good luck. I think of like struck? No, in a stroke of good luck, you seem to have made good headway with the rodent.
Maybe I found like his favorite food or something.
I think
Mm,
that is
give it to
probably the case.
I'd probably be checking on the frog, cause
Oh yeah, we
That's-
never talked about that.
yeah,
Well, he's had time to calm down. I'm gonna give him a slice of cake too.
As you pass through the wooden plate with a bit of cake on it, as well as would you give him a fork?
Sure. No, wait, no, not a fork, a spoon.
As you give him basically just a pewter spoon. He just kind of stares at it as the plate kind of lays on the rather wet grass in front of him.
I'm gonna give him a thumbs up.
You can tell he's watching. He's just trying not to respond.
All right, can I get the helmet or Raku to talk to him? Because he's usually better at talking than I am.
Alright, so what are we trying to find out right now?
Basically, why they're attacking us, what their deal is, if they want us to do anything specific besides leave, because that's not happening. If there's any way that then we can get them to not attack us.
Raku already learned from, I think it was Volo's guide, that they're highly territorial. That's why they attacked us.
Well, I'm sure they can still talk.
Alright, well... yeah, I guess, Raku will go up and start interrogating this... What is it again?
Grung.
Grung. Alright. He's gonna ask how many of them are there.
He stays silent for that question, though you can tell he definitely understands.
Raku's gonna pull out a dagger and try to get the glint. What's the time of day?
So you've been trying to get your sleep schedule back to sleep during the day, awake during the night, and you are almost there. So at the end, it would be. Fuck, I'm hurting my mind trying to think about this. It would probably be early morning by now. I'm sorry. Yeah, early morning.
Tell him that we intend to let him go, but we just want to talk. We just want to get some information.
Raku's not gonna do that.
Why not?
Well, Raku's gonna take a dagger and get a glint from the sun and put in its eyes, or one of its eyes.
Kind of glances over at the dagger and back to you, as he says in a very warbly voice. It sounds very wet. As he says, "Pain does not scare me."
It's not pain that should scare you. It's me that should scare you.
And I can't understand his. I can't understand him speaking. Can I? Is he speaking common?
No, you can't understand him, Cobalt.
Aw.
What you hear is almost what sounds to be a bullfrog, except whose vocalizations are drawn out and have much more sort of range of tone, range of pitch.
Hmm. Hey, Dover, real quick.
Yeah?
When do I start school?
I was actually about to get to that.
Okay.
So this is going to be your last day before the
Semester begins.
semester starts. According to the paperwork that you have, this weekend is move-in weekend.
I'll be fine with my current living circumstances. Oh, also, how is the mouse faring with the others, or is it just me that he likes? Because I also want him to, have him interact with the other kobolds as well.
It appears that the mouse that you have is only friendly to you right now. As you're working, Rock actually passes by the slightly open door, carrying what looks to be a thigh. Yeah, the mouse gets a glimpse of him and kind of darts away to the corner.
That's an acceptable reaction.
Alright, well, that's fine.
But you're able to hold him in your hand without him biting you too much.
That's good.
There's still those times where you think you might startle him and he kind of just bites you.
That's fine.
That seems normal.
My AC is plenty high.
I don't think AC matters when they're in your hand.
I can cast shield as a reaction, Dova.
Can you react fast enough for a mouse bite?
No,
Yes.
no, you can
No, you cannot.
take this from somebody who's had rats.
I've had rats too.
It just
and
happens.
bit off the tip of my
It just
finger. It was
happens.
quite traumatic.
Mhm.
Yeah, they weren't yours. That's all I heard. Alright, cool. Well. I don't know. I guess I'll spend the rest of the day helping out and working on that mouse golem I was talking about.
All right. Who's I gonna get to
Oh.
next?
And
Yep.
preparing for school.
Ah. How would you be going about that?
I mean, I guess they still use a pen and inkwell, right? They don't a quill and inkwell. They don't use like pencils, do they? Do pencils even exist?
Pencils do exist, although they're
Probably like
mostly
charcoal.
mostly used in like carpentry and stuff like that. Although there are some, and this comes from your side, that is No, you wouldn't know that. But you would have heard rumors of a very slick writing utensil coming from the Far East.
Is it a
That
pen?
it's like a quill that doesn't need to be constantly refilled.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay, cool.
It's really a cool invention. Now that once you're thinking about it and kind of looking at all the ink and quills that you're having to pack.
Alright, well, I guess I'll just use be getting writing supplies, papers.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
And yes, inkwell pens do exist, or not inkwell pens, but kind of the metal tipped. Are they called fountain pens?
Yeah, you might be thinking of fountain pens.
What am I thinking of? It has the metal tip and it looks like a pen, but it doesn't actually have an internal reservoir.
Yeah, it's Wait, no, fountain
The
pens have an
dip
internal
pen.
reservoir. I have no idea.
Pen? Either way, yes. Yes, the fancy new technology from the East is in fact a pen. Not a ballpoint, though. That's a ways off.
Little less tech than that.
That's a ways off.
Yeah, right now they just have a rectangle point. It's very awkward.
Very rough.
Yeah, cute
Rips the
point pen.
paper.
It just kind of folds over.
Yeah. There has to be a better way.
Don't you hate when you use your rectangle tip pen and rip your paper?
Just-
You have to go back.
Anyways, you basically set up your knapsack for schoolwork. You're taking notes and stuff.
Sweet.
Awesome.
I'm all going to college, guys.
Hell yeah.
What a boy.
Rock.
Yep.
You are doing things with the plant.
Yes, I am.
Slowly and carefully. You know, keeping your fingers very clear when it's doing this. You are able to feed in the remains. As about half the kobolds you were with are a little bit grossed out and leave, while the other half are either indifferent and also leave.
He's
But
also
there are a few that kind of stick around, almost enraptured by the way that the small, almost bonsai-looking tree is able to
Absorb.
not absorb, more like process.
he's
As it almost sounds like putting chicken wings through a paper shredder.
that just makes him smile.
Interesting.
He's also humming like a nursery rhyme to it.
It's called a morbid curiosity.
Yes, a
been-
very morbid curiosity.
He's bonding with this damn plant. Trying to get it to recognize it's him.
Yeah. Asserting your dominance yet, or what?
If he has to, he will. More of a mutual acquaintance. He tells it stories.
Oh yeah. What kind of stories?
Or from very graphic war stories to stories about him growing up. Just about anything that he's heard from his sister and his brother.
When you feed it, do you tell it stories of how you got the meal?
Yes.
Very detailed.
Very, very detailed. He'll actually show the
A
head.
paladin killed this one. I hope you like it.
As he's feeding the drow to the plant, he has the head next to it, and it's just kind of.
Reenacting and pantomiming what happened.
Yep.
Excellent.
Glad we got that covered.
You really feel like you and the plant are really developing this sort of like father-son bond.
You understand each other.
Although it seems that the plant is rather silent about the whole ordeal.
He's not much of a talker.
It's
It's
his
not
baby
much of a
Bonzo.
talk.
That's fine. Neither is Rock Rock. It's a perfect relationship.
Hell yeah.
It's like the relationship between a man and another man when it comes to turning up the volume in in the car.
Yeah.
They just kind of nod in silence.
Yep.
Info, what are you doing?
Probably spending more time with the kobolds and like showing them how to properly don their equipment, and probably checking to see if others are developing like particular strengths. Like this one's stronger, but this one over here is faster.
How not?
Sure.
This one's really good at not touching lava. He took to that class very well.
You start to build sort of almost a database in your head of what kobolds are good at what, and what kobolds are not so good at what. You also start to single out some troublemakers. People who kind of steal stuff from others, who kind of don't, I guess, don't play well with others.
That's the paddling.
Mm. Should probably find out what their deal is. For this kind of problem.
Alright, cool. Who's next?
I believe we are up to Eric's. Eric's or Raku. Whichever way of you wants to go.
I never got the response from the grub.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. What did you say?
Remember, I was glinting the sun into its eyes from the dagger, and then I asked it again, how many more of them were there?
And then he said something like pain doesn't fear or pain
No, that
doesn't-
was the first time.
Oh.
When you do it again to him, he basically elicits almost no response. You can tell that he's closely studying you, however.
He's tied up right now, right?
He's in the cage.
Now, Infel's not going to be the one to say this, but what if we just let him dry out?
I don't believe he was tied up, although he is in the cage and he is somewhat calm, basically sitting on his knees in the middle of it.
Wait, he's a mage?
What?
I might have heard you wrong. Never mind. I thought you said he was
no,
a mage.
he's sitting on his knees,
Hmm.
right in the middle of the cage.
Try diplomacy instead of threats. Look, man, I know you're not good at diplomacy at all, but
I mean, sure I am, I just don't go that way. Fine. I'm gonna like put the knife away. I'm gonna show my hands empty, and like take a step back from the cage and ask if there's any way we can end hostilities. You want me to roll?
No. He's going to take a moment before responding. He's going to say, "Your tribe enslaved mine and killed many my brethren. I will not cooperate with you."
Yeah, you have us mistaken for someone else. We just got here. We've never been here before.
But you say that, but your warriors, your compatriots, they use magic such as we have never seen before. Who else could be to blame?
Well, we have never seen species such as you before. So how do we know that you're not something arcane? Just because we haven't seen you before doesn't mean that... Just because you haven't seen our magic before doesn't mean much. Hell, that's basic magic that we're using.
To us, basic to us.
In Faerun, it's basic.
He waits a moment before responding again.
You're opening his mind to other possibilities. This is dangerous.
He says, "Who was that?"
I have no idea.
I think it was Jim.
Before he says, "It does not change that you are not
Nah, bro, it was me.
meant
I'm
to
sorry.
be here."
Alright, goodbye.
Got him.
Okay, goodbye.
It does not change that you are not from here.
Well, that
You
would have
are
been great
invaders
to know.
to my land, to my brethren's land. So why am I wrong to assume that you are the ones who enslaved us?
Do you see any slaves of your kind around here? You openly came and attacked us. We didn't even know you existed. We had no quarrel with you.
He almost kind of shakes his head. He says, "The last thing I remember before pure blackness was that same tang in the air that your magic leaves."
Probably the drow.
And then I woke up here.
Was Raku
So-
aware of the drow?
You would have been aware that they were a drow, yes.
And how they all woke up and ran away when the drow died.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like I put in the description.
Ask if it was the drow that he's talking about.
I'm going to start describing their captors, but describe the drow, like, dark-skinned elves. Yeah, I'm gonna start describing something like that.
Yes, it is him. He came with you, did he not?
No,
Came
actually,
from long away.
the drow most likely came from under you. But, no, he didn't come with us. In fact, I'm pretty sure one of our other guys chopped him up.
It was directly antagonistic towards us.
Prove it. I want
Yeah,
to
we
see it
have
for
no
myself.
desire to cooperate with drow.
Message
hold
Rock
on.
Rock, he still has the head.
Yeah, actually,
still
I'm
does
probably
have
gonna go get that head and.
And actually, that's about the last piece you have left.
In fact, any quarrel you have with the drow, we would most likely happily join you in the hunt against them.
Your persuasion check.
Yeah. $17.
Oh my god. Okay, how much? What sort of modifier does he have?
What's
'Cause
that?
he rolled really high. I'm trying to look
See.
through.
We have one more
Yeah.
community lucky
Oh my
point left.
god.
I'm gonna tell you that right now.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we use them all up, I believe.
Oh.
But you know, Raku is feeling unnaturally lucky. Almost supernaturally lucky.
How's that? Or why
He
is
just
that?
feels it.
Oh, okay.
He there's a tang in the air that he's feeling.
Ah. Nice try.
Bracing it.
None shall
No,
see me.
it's
Though my battle cry may give me away.
I don't think that'll pass.
Unless the viewers get an idea.
Yes, and you're just did a minor influence.
Yeah, I thought so.
So what's going on?
He kind of looks at you and he says, "And if that is true, that our captor is not among you, does not change the fact that you come here to our land and claim it as your own."
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
We have done extensive research onto this landmass, as we understand it to be named Choltz. I don't know what you guys know it, but as far as we knew, there were no sentient tribes on the island. So we just came to find a place free of humans and the other like, with their cities and their hatred towards our kind, to be free to be ourselves.
He looks at you, almost insulted. He says, "Even if you did not know we were here, you are here now, and we have been here before you were. Thus, you are the interloper, not us."
Yes, the old "we were here first" trick.
And what about those that preceded you here on this island, or on this place before the land was sunken into the ocean? Were you the one that built these shrines and these buildings of relics that we see around?
He laughs, saying, "So you are saying it's okay for you to do this because long ago our ancestors might have done something almost similar?" I don't think that makes much sense at all.
Yeah, it makes about as much sense as your argument, doesn't it?
He kind of shakes his head.
Has Infel returned with the head yet?
I
Probably.
believe he would have, yes.
Rock would be carrying the head.
Alright, I'll bring Rock as well. He probably wants to take back that head as soon as we're done with it.
He's got plans for the head.
Are you guys at the cage?
Probably.
Yeah, you would have been there. You would have made it here by now.
I'll take the prisoner's attention to the head, and I'll point at it and say, "There is what was once your captor, and we freed you. If we didn't invade your island, you would still be a slave. We have no quarrel with you. We have no desire to start one. But from how I'm seeing things, we've already helped you out."
Make another persuasion check.
Sorry for being monotone. I'm tired.
He stares at the head and hands sort of on his knees. He looks to you and says, "Oops." He does not say oops. He's going to say, if you release me back to my tribe, I will bring a delegation here to discuss things."
You recall
Without
Kobold's
even-
words saying, "That was my intention all along."
without a second to chime in or anything, Raku's just gonna open the cage.
All right.
No.
Does he look okay though?
Give me a medicine
he-
check. Actually, no, insight.
All right.
Because he does
'Cause-
look fairly wounded, but yeah, insight check.
Maybe he's one of those people who are like,
And he is in pain, though he's hiding it very well.
"Don't heal me. These are proof of a warrior," or something like that. I don't know.
Infel would like to pour some water over the frog.
I'm guessing you just have a canteen ready.
Probably
Okay.
because
Water skin.
these
Just be like,
these frogs probably need to stay hydrated, and I imagine he's not been hydrated for some time now.
just be like, "You seemed a little dry."
As you do
Well-
so, Infel, as he's sort of walking out slowly, you can see the water sort of trickle over a rather nasty-looking scorch mark from one of those firebolts, and it kind of washes away a little bit of the bright yellow dead skin. And underneath it, you can actually see that it's already starting to heal.
Interesting.
Should
You
I
can
heal
tell
it
that
the
he
rest of the
is
way?
he is feeling a little better, though.
Old as a perhaps a distinguishment for to help just to ease potential concern. He's going to place his hands on him and cast lay on or use lay on hands. More as
As you
both as a show of hey, we have good magic too, and to heal the rest of the way.
as you start to sort of cast the incantation, he backs away rapidly. He says,
This is
That's
healing.
well, it's probably to let Raku explain that. That's
he
healing
just
magic.
says, he only says to you, Raku, because you're the only one who can actually understand.
Yeah.
But he says, "I will not be tricked. I will leave. The delegation will come. Do not touch me."
Don't touch me.
All right. I will take you at your word that you will send a delegation, and to remind your people that we have no desire to make quarrel with you, but I do. With
But it
the
was-
with
But
the
we will
with
keep
the
them
sincerest words, hope that you remember what happened here, and if you, without cause, decide to attack us.
And it was
he-
healing magic, just so you know.
Mhm. As he continues to back away, it doesn't respond to you, Cobalt. As are you at the cage actually?
No, I was kind of speaking for Raku, like, as I don't know, just contributing because I'm not there.
Rockrock's just staring him down.
He's going to continue backing away, and as he heads into the wood, the forest. No, sorry, the tree line, just outside the clearing. As he says back to you before leaving the gate, he says, "If what you say is true, and that you aren't here as invaders, then perhaps we may enter into agreement. Otherwise, war shall fall upon you."
An agreement and hopefully an alliance is all that we seek.
Hmm.
But if your people decide to initiate war, we will also acknowledge that.
Then so be it. As
Rockrock's
he
grinning.
basically hops into a tree and disappears into the canopy.
Intel's gonna look over him and say, "Did that go well?"
I'm going to tell them, or tell the rest of the party that they're gonna send some people to forge some sort of agreement between us.
Well, that sounds fine.
Is there a way that I can craft like a Rosetta Stone so that we can start learning this language?
Not really. The helmet basically takes the sound before it gets to your ears and translates it into common, so you don't really hear them speaking their actual language.
Okay. I thought. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure the actual thing says it grants me the ability to understand those languages, but okay, if that's how we want to do it, that's fine.
So yeah. What are y'all doing?
If because Rock's still waiting for Squidface to get back to him. If he doesn't, he's gonna go himself, cool his head.
Okay.
I have an idea. Why don't you use one of the doors on the airship so it's not a magical door and you keep getting dropped?
When you say cool his head, do you mean your head or the head that you recently obtained?
He still has the head with him.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, let me see.
And essentially what he's going to do is, from the camp, I assume some scouting parties he was north, he's going to go south, the opposite direction.
Okay. South would actually put you kind of just bordering those little foothills for a little while until it eventually ends up to the beach, just by the sea.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
I'm going to recommend to the party and give an order to the other kobolds to not further explore the area that the thing, just the frog went.
Grung.
Yeah, the grung.
All right.
Because I don't want that to seem as if we're trying to advance on their territory.
Very well, very well. Excellent.
I'd probably go looking at those potentially problematic kobolds that don't seem to play well with the others.
Okay. What sort of things might you be doing to fix that?
Well, first I'd ask them if there's anything wrong with the others with what the others are doing. Perhaps this is a misunderstanding. Or maybe they just have different tastes and they'd probably get along if they did it in a different way. Like maybe they're trying to play soccer, but these are more book smart guys.
Okay. Give me a wisdom check.
Okay.
Sometimes you just gotta hit him.
All right. So between two of them, you figure out that they have a almost ancient rivalry going on between them.
Things
And
like
by
the
ancient-
hatchlings.
Yeah.
Oh.
Basically, they've been assholes to each other from hatch date, basically. Stealing each other's stuff, pushing each other down.
You two better
stuff
not
like
be Tundaries.
that. The third one just seems to have been a troublemaker since
Hatch.
for about half of his life. He's currently 3 years old. So about a year and a half ago, from what you can tell from asking other people, he changed. And you're not sure what happened. You never really get it out of him, but he seems to be very almost irritable at times, and kind of takes it out on everyone around him. Between the two rivals, you start to sort of separate them for a while just to figure out if that'll help, before eventually sending them out on expedition parties together. Sort of opening their eyes onto what they're doing to each other, and sort of that seems to be helping so far. You're not seeing any improvement just yet, but you think it's going to lead somewhere.
All right, good.
As for the singular troublemaker, you can't really make any progress with them.
You're not my real dad.
Basically.
Sounds like someone
That's
I should send
actually
a rock
exactly
rocket.
what's going on.
I may not be your father, but I'm probably gonna be as good as you're gonna get.
You're having a hard time getting through to him so far.
Damn it, son.
I mean, your mother and I raised you better than this.
You want to hold my magic sword?
That doesn't sound right.
No.
No, but I do have one, and it's a short sword, so it's kobold size at least.
It's like it's a Zweihander, but for kobolds.
So,
All right. Raku wants to, because I know throughout the freaking, ever since we picked them up, he's been training like 2 or 3 of the kobolds with bows.
Mhm.
And so he wants to kind of continue that training a little bit, and then have them start taking turns on watch on the tower by the gate. Let them be sentry.
okay. You could definitely do that. They're not, they're not pinpoint accurate, but
They're not me, but yeah.
they're just below the skill level of hitting an apple off of someone's head. Probably just gonna shoot the head.
All right, well, I'm fine with that. And I know I had a spare bow that I gave to one of them, and probably crossbow. I'm pretty sure the ship probably has more. That was just kind of on there, just normal bows and crossbows.
Okay. Yeah, you would have been able to find equipment.
All
for
right,
them.
so I guess I would let
handful
them
of arrows. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd let them pick whichever weapons that they wanted, and then just have them start taking watch.
Excellent. Yeah. You guys feel fairly tired as the day goes on, but eventually it does come to a close. Let's find out what happens during the night. Not during the night, during the
Day.
during the late afternoon.
The off hours.
Yes. In the afternoon. You guys have just about gotten your sleep schedule back on track.
Hold on. I seem to recall we had a goggles of night at one point, maybe. I figure we can give it to Infel if we still have it, but I don't know if we ever actually got one. It's
May have
something
been
I
for a
don't-
different
I don't
campaign.
think we have.
Okay, I was about to say I vaguely remember having it at some point.
I definitely remember someone had sunglasses.
I did. That was me with sunglasses.
Yeah. And someone had a radio. And fun stuff like that.
Wait, was that this campaign? No, that was a different.
That was a different campaign. So, no, you wouldn't see that. It's daytime. All right. It is now nighttime again, as you guys. This is the night before your classes start, so your sleep schedule might be completely wrong for this Cobalt. It'll basically be like taking night classes since all your classes are in the morning.
That's fine.
But yes. While you are Rock, can you give me a history check?
Sure. Would my books with Schult help on this history check?
No.
Okay. What is with me and these fives today?
As you wake up, you go to the smithy, and you're kind of just looking around, checking everything out. And you kind of panic for a moment, thinking that you lost all that armor, all those cool like bronze armor pieces. But you kind of look, oh, there they are. They were just on the other side of the forge. You were looking on the wrong side.
That sounds about him.
Have
Where's
you seen
my-
pencil? Have you seen my phone? Did you check your hand? Oh, right. Turns on
Check
the
your
flash.
Where's my glasses? It's like, oh, he's wearing the glasses.
I'm gonna do detect magic on these armor before he starts messing with it.
Sure. It's kind of weird. You're looking at it for a moment, and you kind of will the magic detection to like turn on, and you see almost like a blinding light for a brief moment before you blink your eyes as it kind of disappears. At the moment, it looks like the armor is currently not magical at all.
I'm gonna look around to see if anybody else saw that blinding light.
Doesn't appear so. There's kind of there's one of the kobolds who is fairly talented at smithing and stuff. He is kind of watching over your shoulder. Every so often, he kind of walks closer to the pile of armor and kind of reaches forward and just kind of scratches at it briefly, doing nothing to it, of course.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna make a belt out of this armor.
A belt.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And a chained cape.
A metal belt? Like plate metal belt?
Yeah.
I'm interested, but also intrigued to see how the hell he's gonna do that.
He doesn't know yet, but he's gonna crack his neck just as a great man. Yeah, go ahead.
Gonna try to figure it out.
Yeah, he's gonna what he calls winging it.
Would you call Raku over?
Yeah, if he wants to come over, wave him over with his tail.
Yeah, I'll be putting stuff together. I got my tools.
This is during the next day, right?
Yes. This is the morning, so this is the evening transitioning into nighttime. So you guys have just woken up. You guys
It's
all have a long
dusk.
rest. Let me give that to you.
When does Cobalt come home from classes?
You haven't actually left yet.
I thought you. Oh wait, it's
yeah,
during the
It's
day.
night
Okay.
night classes for you.
Okay, got it.
And also, I'm not sure if I think I did, but I'm not sure if I told Cobalt what the dean of the college said about his robe of stars being a knockoff.
I believe you did at some point.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and
So I
then I
guess-
was like, well, it's a good thing. Then she won't know. It's a good thing that. I can't remember why, but I remember thinking it's a good thing that she thought it was a fake.
Now, did she think it was a fake or was it fake?
It's real.
She just thought it was fake because it's a kobold wearing this thing.
It makes me feel like it makes you look very magey, and I love it. Do you see this wand? It's awesome.
Okay. All right. Well, I am with Rock now. I need a bag of holding just for tools. That'd be pretty good.
Just for tools? Why not
Bag
just
of tools.
yeah?
Bag of
tool
bag of
bag.
tools. Tool bag.
Toolbox.
Yep.
So yeah, he's gonna try to make this belt in this chained cloak.
I'll tell you right now.
Mhm.
I'm not even gonna have you roll for it because this shit is untouchable. You do not own any tools that seem to be able to even scratch this thing, much less forge it.
Can it just be a montage of them banging it and then him just chewing on it?
Wait.
Yeah,
Let me.
just like applying literally every single tool you have in your arsenal, and at the end you're just kind of angrily just chewing at it. You think at some point you'd chip a tooth.
I want to try something because we said nothing can scratch it, right?
Yes.
I want to try to scratch it with my meteoric iron.
All right. And that's. Do you have that forged in anything? I don't remember.
It's still a chunk right now.
It's still a chunk. I'd say you would not be able to scratch it very hard, though. After throwing a ton of effort into it, the meteoric iron is almost red hot, or actually no, it'd be cold. You want it to be hard, but you basically let the helmet sit in the fire for or whatever you're forging. You let it sit in the fire for basically a few hours, just constantly throwing charcoal into it.
Well, actually, this is what I want to do. I want to enlist Rock and that other kobold that was an expert smither. And, I want to make a bayonet out of it.
The iron?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna try to do anything? You're gonna try to forge the armor yet, or the bayonet first?
I thought we were trying to mess with the armor and we couldn't touch it, so this is after.
You want to make the meteoric iron into a bayonet now?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a smithing tools check.
Me too, if I'm helping.
I don't have those. Rock does, and remember, I'm also having that other. Well, I guess there's no double advantage, so Rock roll it.
Okay.
Roll it with advantage.
Double advantage.
No, just one.
Or-
Very nice.
All right.
So yeah. You're able to make the meteoric iron in the course of a few hours into a bayonet, sort of wrapping what spare leather you have around the handle to make it more handy. You also make it so that you can attach it to the muzzle of Sharla.
Yeah, that was the point. So okay, so we're talking bayonet as in like dagger with a muzzle loop.
Pretty much.
Okay, awesome.
Like a standard bayonet.
I'm
And as you actually do a test fitting, Charla complains, of course, saying, "Be careful, you'll scratch me."
You are magical.
Doesn't
worry,
make it
we can-
feel any less good.
I'm sorry.
Just be careful.
I'm pretty sure that Raku would be careful.
Well, she still complains.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I'm trying to because this was a long time ago that I freaking picked it up. I remember you saying that this thing was weird, as in it had 0 traces of magic on it. Because we try to identify it.
The
meteoric iron. You said it was like an
Yes.
abyss of magic. And there was
yes,
nothing.
yes. It had 0 of that ambient magic on it. And it seems to remain that way.
I wonder if it can be used to cut those magic strands that I keep seeing.
That'd be kind of cool. Because I haven't. That's why I've kept it on me. Is because I wanted to forge it. I wanted to forge it initially into a blade on my bow, so I didn't have to swap out to my rapier, or my bread to hit someone close by. I just needed to stab him. But this works much better.
Decision.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that timing.
That was perfect.
If Rocker
Man,
can't,
Someone clip that.
Clip that shit.
Oh,
It's
why is
recorded.
this even-
if Rock can't like do anything with this armor he got, he's gonna ask Sora what it is, as he's still trying to like poke at it.
She eventually says to you, "I have no memory of a material such as this, though it does have the hallmarks of something not created in the depths of the earth, but in the forges of Arcana. Anything meant to cut it must, well, at the very least, it must be equally as hard."
He's gonna nod. He's gonna take all the armor and put it in his bag of holding after it cools.
All right.
He's not that dense.
Mm.
Well,
Uh,
yeah.
it holds heat very well, and you actually leave one. You kind of like set it on the. You kind of set it on the ground and let it cool off for a very long time. But even as you pick it up, you kind of burn your hand for a moment, but you're able to pull it away before doing any serious damage.
He's intrigued, and an intrigued Rock is a dangerous Rock. So he's gonna sigh heavily again, and then gonna go visit Squidface.
Okay.
Because if Sora doesn't know, that's his Sora. He has to go to something else.
As you are actually heading into the Forgotten City, would you check the mail?
Yes, he would.
You find a letter from Shuluth addressed to you.
He stops mid-step, picks it up with his tail.
All right. So you gotta reach in the mailbox with your tail. Drawing it out reveals him saying very compactly, He doesn't seem to mince his words at all with this letter. He says, I found someone that will sell you mounts, though I can't promise they'll be affordable. Come visit when you can.
Oh, how convenient. He's gonna put the letter between his teeth and just kind of, like a dog with a newspaper, just kind of go and.
All right. Eric's, what are you doing today? Eric's? If you're trying to talk, we cannot hear you. Very well.
I think he's sleeping.
Cobalt.
Yes.
Uh,
Well, considering I can just take a teleportation circle.
Well, still.
Let's see. Maybe a half hour? Because
Okay.
I need to find the class?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Repeat whatever you were saying, because I had to cut out the audio for a moment to get my mic working again.
Yes. Let's just repeat everything for Zoom.
Well, I don't think anything really important happened to you. But how far back?
No, I mean just what you switched to with Cobalt. Just a
Okay.
couple of seconds.
So, Cobalt, you're heading off to your class about half hour early. You're teleporting there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With a very heavy thump, you disappear from the teleportation circle in the back of the wagon and reappear in the rather cold courtyard of the college. The water has drained prior to your arrival, though there are a few puddles still in the middle of the fountain.
The illusionary fountain.
Yes, the illusionary fountain. The water in it is, however, real. The statue kind of in the middle is not.
I prefer cooler temperatures anyway.
It's getting down to, it's like 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, I'm warm-blooded, so that's fine.
I don't believe kobolds are warm-blooded.
I'm half dragon. Remember?
Oh, right.
Cold-blooded. They're like cold and warm.
He's got the bloodline for it.
Okay.
Warm-blooded.
Like a simmering tea kettle.
Very slowly simmering tea kettle.
Alright, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. I knew that was
Yeah.
funny.
Jesus Christ.
Man, I'm on a roll today.
As you sort of step out, you kind of shake the water off your feet and head off to where the class is supposed to be. You were given a preliminary schedule, so give me an investigation check, please.
Investigation. Sure. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna roll lucky for that one. Because I can. I don't expect on getting into combat today. Better.
All right. In another stroke of luck, the first building you walk into actually has your classroom in it. As you kind of walk through the halls, getting quite a few looks from the other students. It is mostly comprised of early 20s individuals. There are a handful of older looking folk, including a downright ancient-looking professors, assistants, people who just work there. Fairly diverse group of people as well. Still mostly human, maybe 50%. Not very many dwarves. A good amount of elves and half-elves. There's maybe like 2 or 3 dragonborns that you can see. And then a tiefling. And that's just from the people you saw day 1 as you were walking to class.
It's one of those situations where I'm trying to find the class, and I trip and fall down a flight of stairs and land in front of my classroom.
we'll do that, sure.
That kind of lucky.
We'll do that. As you're kind of in awe about all the cool stuff, like you can see some like floating candles, like in the hallway, almost like Hogwarts shit. Jesus Christ!
The candle after command.
God fucking damn it! Are we doing a rom-com here? Doing it?
I got
love interest walks by.
I got a gripe real quick.
Yeah?
A few days ago, I was trying to renew one of my domain names, which isn't through my usual registrar. I usually go through GoDaddy. This one is a .im, so it has to go through a special website.
Yeah.
They give you a handle, which is 2 letters followed by a series of numbers. And they had no option on their website to put in for a forgot your handle option. Because for some reason they can't just use the email address.
Hell yeah.
And I'm searching through all of my saved passwords and stuff, trying to see if it's saved somewhere on my browser. Nothing's coming up. I finally get the handle today. I go to put it in. I click on the box to put it in, and suddenly my browser's like, oh, is this the login you want to use? Thanks.
Oof.
Incorrect password. Incorrect password. Incorrect password. Okay, fine. I'll reset password. Password cannot be the same password.
I know. Oh,
God, that's actually pure pain.
Anyways, I'm done griping now.
Yes. You make your way into the class. You notice that you're about 15 minutes earlier, actually, and managed to get a good spot. Where are you sitting?
In the front, or else I won't be able to see anything.
All right.
I have to stand on the chair because the desks are too small. Or too big.
Question?
Yeah.
Not really to anything, but
It is
should we
kind of
take
a slanted.
rung off the combat tracker?
Yes, we should.
Now, what'd you say?
This is a kind of a slanted lecture hall, so
Okay,
it's as long as you can see over the table in front of you, you're fine.
Oh, well then, I don't know. I'll just sit wherever there's free, and I'll probably have to stand on the chair.
Interpreting
Alright.
vague answer as yes.
Jesus Christ. So yeah. Give me just a straight intelligence check.
What's my first class?
This first class, I believe this is one of the remedial classes that literally everyone has to go to. And it mostly has to do with ethics and sort of responsible use of magic in a public setting.
Responsibility?
Exactly.
I got a 10 because I'm super not interested.
You're basically...
It's over 9,000!
You're
Oh my god. Guys.
actually just shit.
Yeah, guys,
Get it
go ahead
together.
and go, calm down a little.
Settle down, okay?
And now they gave me a temp password when they gave me my handle. I'm trying, and then they take me to a change password screen. It says new password again. I put in my new password I want to use, and it gives me a thing saying the password is incorrect. That's not what it's.
Welcome to hell.
All right, cool. Remedial class, half there. Got it.
Yep.
Ethics, not really interested.
Um,
Hasn't stopped
At
me yet. Probably
the
won't stop me now.
professor is a somewhat respectable looking half elf who's managed to grow a
Half beard.
kind of. It's really kind of pointed. More of a mustache and then the little bit of a goatee, kind of like a kung fu master sort of look. As he asks a question to the class, you don't really remember what he says as he looks at you and says, "Yes, blue one over there. What do you think?"
You said I don't remember something, Dova?
You don't remember what he said.
Because you weren't paying attention in
You
class.
weren't really fully paying attention.
But I could hear him, right?
Cobalt?
Yes, Dova?
I swear to Christ, this feat is driving me insane.
A month hasn't passed, has it, Dova?
Oh my god!
None shall see me.
What do you say, Dova?
Though my battle cry may give me away.
Give me a fucking moment because I didn't actually have anything for him to say.
Listen, just be embarrassed like the DM wanted you to.
For those of you unaware, he has a feat which lets him remember anything he's heard in the past month
Or
without
seen.
error. He also knows exactly what time it is always.
So Dova's like, it's about. I'm like, about? Or
Dova,
exact?
we have an ethereal influence.
Yes. What is it?
Sent it to you in PM.
Okay.
I just do that so you can, figure
Oh, it
out.
did. I think it. You get a lucky point for your to help remember what he said.
Okay.
Just do that so I can think of something.
Okay.
The one time, like,
Roll
oh,
the-
that feat won't be that
Roll it.
big.
Come on. My man, roll the intelligence check.
Oh, I didn't hear.
I'll
what
just
the question
roll it
was.
again. A little better. So
It's
he
the kind
was
of thing-
actually, as you kind of snap out of the trance that you were in, you start to sort of go over what he was saying before, and he was talking about an instance of a mage sort of fabricating quite a bit of money, just sort of having access to a rather high-powered spell and using it to create a lot of money to help the poor of a city. It's kind of a hypothetical exercise. The name of the city wasn't ever specified, and he was kind of talking about how through this creation of money, the inflation increased to a point where he couldn't actually keep up with the demand for the money that he was creating for basically free. And he asked the question, even if all those poor people, the downtrodden as they may be, even if they were fed, does that make it okay to go outside the law, to work outside of one's own magical jurisdiction?
So it's basically an ethics question. Is it okay to break the law if it's for the less fortunate?
Basically, through magical means, especially magical means, because it may be a lot easier to fix the problem through that.
I think Kova believes that he is. How would he say it? I'm thinking how Cobalt would put it.
I can come back to you if you want.
Okay, thanks.
You're smart enough to think this over in your head fast in
Okay.
character.
Yes.
Eric's, what are you doing? And Rock, by now you would have fed the entirety of the drow's body into the plant.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is very happy as its sort of dead trunk is actually starting to grow leaves.
Ooh,
You're starting to see little tree bud or leaf buds.
it brings a tear to his eye.
It's creating life for once.
Something Rock's not used to.
I'm gonna go find Rock, and I
Alright.
want to go adventure.
Also, as you guys have been staying here, Ayastal has actually fixed up something very cool. You're kind of going through the airship, Eric's, and you hear this very faint, almost crackling noise as you're passing through the hole in the hull that's still being repaired. And it's sort of faint, and it almost sounds like a small fire, but you know that sound that that lava flows make as they're cooling off. If you've seen any of those videos, basically a continuous like crackling, popping noise.
Not sure I've ever actually heard that.
I know what you're talking about.
Thought it was more like a growl.
I think it's more of like a crackling noise.
It's like hot air bubbles.
Anyways, I guess we can find an example and do that real quick.
Yeah.
You have send me an example and I can.
Rock is heading to Squidface's place too, or that underground hidden for the mount.
Okay.
Eric's would try and intercept you
Okay, here we go.
for adventure.
Well, he's gone there for two reasons. For the random, creepy, mysterious metal that's irritating the crap out of him, and to see a man about a horse. He'll take
So yeah,
Eric with him.
okay. I'd say you would be able to catch up with him, Eric, as he's going.
Hey, Rock, let's go adventure.
Gives you a tails thumbs up and just walks through the door.
I was with Rock last at the forge, so Raku's probably with them.
You want to go with?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So you've got Raku, Rock, and Eric's. What about you, Info? What are you doing?
Probably just spending more time with the kobolds or setting up more of the village.
Oh, you said
Strong and labor.
He's probably just sitting around praying.
I mean, later. But every day.
All right. Well, since they're going off somewhere else, I guess I'll go grab Infel.
All right. So you guys are all heading through, aside from Cobalt, of course.
I'm not going to the city. I want to explore. I want to explore Cholt.
All right, you and Infel.
I'm gonna
All
go
right.
grab Infel. Real quick, I am gonna play this video so we can have the audio and figure that out.
That sort of crackling noise. Kind of sounds like TV static.
That's kind of what I meant by like growling.
Mm-hmm.
It's very soothing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's that. Moving on.
Ready?
Yeah. So, what's your response, Cobalt?
Cobalt would say he had the right idea but wrong method. There are other ways he could have helped them without breaking the law and ruining the economy.
Would you say economy?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the first time he's heard that word, and he's trying it out.
He looks at you, gives a nod. You can tell that you hear a bit of shuffling from throughout the room as the rest of the students kind of look back towards the front and kind of adjust in their seats. As the professor says, well, there is a better answer, but you're certainly not wrong. And he goes into basically a lecture saying how the statement that you gave was correct, but not fully correct in his mind. That is saying how by the end of he's basically just giving by the end of the course you will be able to blah 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 stuff like that, using your statement as a stepping point.
How dull. Now, didn't she say the dean, didn't she say at one point that I'd be helping with teaching some class or something like that? I'd be lending my knowledge to the school or something?
Yes. Although that class is tomorrow. Although it's probably a good idea to go talk to her today. I mean, you're already here.
Okay. I'll do that after the class.
You are given an assignment, however, to basically write a few paragraphs about maybe creating hypothetical scenarios in which your own personal ethics might be challenged.
Well, time to teach not rations how to write.
Just like real college.
If you don't know the answer, let Rock eat your homework. What happened to your homework? Rock ate it. What's a rock?
They're really heavy but really strong and kind of smelly. Rock's good though. He's a good Rock.
Yeah.
He's the best Rock.
Indeed. All right, cool. So I guess I go talk to the dean after the class.
Yep. Let's switch over to Rock and Raku going into the Hidden City.
And
what day is today? Ooh, today's Monday. Not Monday, but
equivalent.
Second day.
Monday.
Oh, that's for a different setting with very lascivious rules.
Moon Day.
Mundus.
No, second day. That's actually what it's called in this setting.
Moon Day is Infil's favorite day of the week.
Hey, Saloon, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
It's nice meeting you here.
As you go through the portal, and you sort of navigate the treacherous transition. You sort of dust yourself off, wipe some blades of grass out of your, some of your horns or others for the spines on top of your head, and kind of make your way towards Shaluth's house. The air carries the very faint scent of roasted meats. It smells like chicken, maybe turkey, and something that you can't quite place. Actually, I bet one of you has already eaten it. Rock. You would recognize it as the roasted meat of a snake.
Ooh, he hasn't had snake in a
Very
long time.
large snake too.
He'll file that away in his stomach for later.
It's
All
a
right.
snake steak.
No, it's not a snake bake.
No, snake steak.
Snake steak. Snake steak bake.
He's got a new goal. Once he's done with this, he is not leaving without some snake.
Snake steak cake bake.
Bakey snake.
I think
Snake.
If it's made of soy, it's a fake. It's a fake snake bake.
On a lake.
Fine.
We're at the lake.
With a rake.
We're just getting off topic. Also, why would a rake be there?
What was
It's
the
orc,
topic?
Nova. How else would you service a fake snake steak cake bake?
I do not like steak, Sam. I do not like it with bake or ham.
I will not have it with a lick. I will not have it with a rake.
Just Squid Face's house.
Yes. You would make it there without actually seeing the source of the smell, which seems to be... no, you wouldn't actually see it. But yes, you would make it there. And Shaluth would be there, apparently getting ready for... No, this is morning, so he would have been just woken up. As he says, that was fast.
I just smile.
Looks over at Raku. Says, "Are you here for the same thing, or no?"
I was just tagging along and actually had an idea of something that I'll talk to you after he says his piece.
Very well. But yes, I have been able to locate the cellar. We can set up a meeting. We can have you. I can surely get you teleported there. I have many methods of doing that. Did you have any particular creatures in mind, other than the nightmare?
He would go. It was the nightmare. God, I had a list. I think it was the nightmare, chimera, and
Manticore?
hold on one second. And maybe a Kieran.
What?
A Kieran.
It's a It's a thunder horse.
Yeah.
Lightning horse.
Can you spell that?
Kirin.
Yeah.
Kiron.
Hey Zim, have you hunted one of those yet?
Iron. Oh.
I don't think so.
I am
Kirin are
interested.
quite interesting hunts. I've never seen such a giant weapon bounce off such a small horse.
Well, I'm not sure which of those he's actually been able to tame recently. But I would not get your hopes up for the Kieran. At least if you have enough money. I mean, if you have enough money to buy a small kingdom, then I'd say you'd be good to go. But otherwise, no.
Just gives him a very, very rock look.
A
Yes.
mixture of a unique mixture of emotionless and threatening.
Yeah.
He's
Like
actually
over-
located in Kalimshan. I don't suppose you've heard of it before. You've heard of Kalimshan. You've never been there, though.
Yeah. He's well traveled, but he's not very well membered.
All right. Well, I can actually get you there today if you're willing to, if you're ready for that.
Yes.
Wonderful. What were you here for anything, Riku, or for? Do you want to talk before you go? Do you want to go with? I can get you as well.
First, I wanted to present him with the bayonet just by itself, not on Charla, and ask if he understood the properties behind this material.
He kind of looks at it curiously. He says, "Well, it's got a nice Damascus pattern on it. Very nice finish." As he grabs it, he kind of, oh, as he kind of puts it back in your hand, and kind of wipes his hand off on his robes. Oh, that's cold. What did you say it was made out of?
This is meteoric iron.
Ooh. I mean, keep that away from me. Understandably.
Raku puts it away.
Yes,
I just wanted
I'm
to
sure you've sort of noticed that it has. I'm sure you have, but it kind of sucks up magic. Very good in sort of penetrating magical shields, as it were. For those heavily attuned, it is rather unpleasant to touch. Respectively.
Is Raku having any issues touching it?
Not really. I mean, it always has this faint coolness in your hands, which feels nice.
Would Rock have a same thing since he helped forge it?
It feels like a knife to you. It looks really good. It came out really well. You're kind of proud.
He's very. You see a sparkle. How proud he is.
I doubt Cobalt will like feeling it.
Oh, that's actually really funny. I just realized that I got this chunk of meteor the same place that Rock got his plant.
I forgot about that.
It was in the Beholder's lair.
The Beholder's lair. That was a fun time.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
I'm never gonna forget the time I was able to reverse the teleportation.
Jeez, it's good for penetrating shields. A bayonet was the perfect thing to make.
Don't touch Cobalt with it.
I won't. Now Raku just wants to know if he can maybe use it as like a magic lightning rod. Someone cast something at him.
Well, that's why I said it might be useful for like cutting those magical strands.
But yes, if that's all you have for me.
Rock seeing the Bayonetta remembers he has that random armor.
Oh yeah,
what?
The weird armor?
The weird armor. That
Oh,
he couldn't make his pretty belt out of. So sad.
He kind of. I assume you'd give him like one of the small rings that like went around like the wrist.
Yeah.
Okay. He kind of grabs it. He turns it in his hands. And he says, "I've heard rumors of this, and I don't have anything written down on it, of course, but I think it starts with a T. That's what its proper name is, but..."
Is it titanium?
Out of character, titanium is a different color.
Look, man,
This is more of a bronze color.
Tungsten?
He says, "I'm not going to tell you." Good lord. As he says, it's well, not man-made. Man's not the only one who makes it, but it is created in rather powerful arcane forges. And you say an entire suit of armor was made out of it.
I nod.
Well, frankly, I don't know what to say. If you manage to actually work it, you'd be able to make quite fine weaponry. I'm guessing this armor doesn't fit you.
Looks very sad.
Yes. Well, take some comfort in this. This stuff is quite valuable. Like, very, very valuable. Would you be willing to sell it?
He nods.
Wonderful.
You do need money for that mount.
How about Oh, maybe. Do you have the whole set here?
He does.
Oh, wonderful. Can I see it, please?
He dumps out his bag of holding, and just armor and teeth and body parts just come out.
So you dump it out.
Yeah.
What else in it?
It's a bunch of teeth, body parts, and the armor.
Oh yeah, that's not. It's just for the teeth.
Yeah, he just puts stuff in there until he can get back to his room.
As there's a colossal. You know that sound of like Oh my god, I'm having trouble just trying to figure out the sound. As a colossal amount of some clean, some not, just teeth fall onto the ground. As you kind of pick through them and grab the armor, you're pretty sure you find every single piece.
Mm-hmm.
As you kind of, drop it on the ground in front of him, and he says, "I am. Wow. Does 15,000 gold do it for you?"
He gives you a tails thumbs up.
Wonderful. Raku, do you have anything to say about that? I know you're actually good with money.
I don't know how to role play it.
I mean, you really don't know how much it's worth anyways.
Grows.
I know, but if Shaluth himself wanted to buy it, it's probably worth a lot more than 1,500.
15,000 is what he offered.
15,000?
Yeah.
Well, so 1,500 platinum.
About.
It's worth a little bit more than 1,500 gold. I said
Yeah.
15,000. 15,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, I apologize for the lack of role playing, but
problem.
Raku wants to try to finagle it to 2,000 platinum.
How would
So-
you do that? You just kind of butt in and make an offer.
I don't know, because I'm not sure if Rock would try to look to Raku after hearing the price.
He's counting out. He's basically counting out a large stack of platinum coins at the moment, sort of wrapped into small bundles, as sort of what looks to be bits of leather and parchment are wrapped around the bundles to keep them from falling apart, kind of stacking them in neat piles magically as his telekinesis moves them kind of through the air. So you might not have much time to make an offer.
I want to bring to mind how forthright Shaluth was to wanting to purchase this, and kind of relate it to, as Shaluth was aware of the amount that Rock was trying to get, so I'm trying to increase the price in order to kind of have a mutual outcome that
Or
settles
try to
both.
get a discount off of the mount.
So he kind of says, "Well, the mount's not really my thing to bargain with. And if I'm going to be completely honest, I was the one who set you up with him. But give me a persuasion check,
That'll only
anyways.
get you so far, buddy.
Let's see here. Suasion.
He says, I can't do 20,000, but how about 16,500? That's my final offer.
17,000, and I'll leave you alone.
He looks at
I
you.
find it amusing how making us leave is a viable sales tactic.
He
Also
looks
find it
at you
amusing
for a brief moment.
He's just like
His
this is
eyes
as
kind
far as
of
I go.
glance down to his coin pouch, which is comically small for the amount of platinum that's coming out of it. Obviously enchanted. Looks at his coin pouch, looks back to you. He just kind of sighs and shrugs. Yes, 17,000. Deal.
All
I'm
right.
gonna shake his hand.
All right. So
Oh, don't take the
Add
deal.
seven-
Don't take the deal.
it's too late. Hand has been shaken. So yeah, go ahead and add. Holy fuck! You have so much gold.
I got it.
You got it.
I saved
17. He gave it to you in platinum, by the way.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes that math way easier.
So go ahead and add 1,600 platinum.
17.
Sorry, it's 1,700. Yeah.
1,700 platinum. Okay.
So
Plus
much
2.
fucking gold.
My already. Jesus Christ. Who could buy a small kingdom? He looks at Rock. Jesus.
Inconceivable!
So much fucking gold.
If you guys only knew.
Yeah, like actually, if you guys could see his inventory right now.
It's very well organized.
How much does Shrek have? I need to see. This is the party inventory for those who are unaware.
It's not Shrek, it's Shrek. With his
On the
lovely
down-
icon.
It's not Shrek.
It is Shrek. Copyright.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's not.
So, like, so nobody knows this, but Rock is comfortably much richer than Shrek.
Shrek used to have a lot.
What
Then
kept taken
Cobalt
from it?
came along.
Oh no, I think everyone's been taking from it.
Yeah,
Not
no
Rock
one ever-
Rock.
The
You.
vast
no one ever
majority has
asked
been Cobalt.
and no one ever. Hey, I ask politely. And besides,
It's
no,
true.
it's not like anyone ever asks for it or adds to it. I mean,
All of the
It's true.
party inventory, all of the party gold is supposed to be split and given. We basically split it between 6 people, with Shrek getting the 6th portion. And then anything that's left over also goes on Shrek.
It's like the bank.
Yes.
He's gonna nod to Squid Face and smile, and then he's gonna go get ready for the mount meeting.
All right. He's going to, actually, as you watch, the armor sort of lifts off the ground for a second under control of his telepathy before kind of slowly, almost drifting back down. He kind of looks over at it confused. He kind of shrugs as he kind of grabs every piece and throws it into a bag of holding. All right. He kind of brushes his hands off and retrieves his tome before flipping to a page and looking to you both. He says, "Are you ready to go?"
I nod and mentally think to Sora if she's ready.
As I will ever be.
I nod.
As he casts teleportation.
I'm
As
jealous.
you all disappear with a very heavy thump. And a few moments later, after almost drifting through the air, it feels like, appear in a looks to be a rather comfortable waiting room. The teleportation circle on the ground glowing for a brief moment before dimming out. It's much warmer here, with almost a very desert-like dry heat permeating through the adobe walls. There's a rather fancy-looking carpet on the ground, which the teleportation circle is actually on. It's the design of the carpet. It's kind of slick. In front of you, closing the tome, is a rather wizened-looking old man with a desert cloak and a somewhat short white beard. Actually, no, it would be rather long. As he says to you, as you would recognize Shuluth's voice speaking to you, saying, he may not be here in the waiting room, but I believe he will probably be outside.
I follow because Rock's used to voices in his head.
He's actually there, by the way.
Oh, is he?
The
Okay.
yeah. It seems to be Shuluth in disguise.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Really?
I'm there too, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I just follow Rock. I don't
Alright.
know if I hear this.
You two are in Kalimshan, basically the trade hub of the south and the east. Imagine a Middle Eastern bazaar, except it's the entire city.
Ooh,
Um,
fancy.
for the right price, almost anything can be bought here. Whether it's legal or not is another story. The building that you find yourself in now is the front office or front lobby for we look to be on the city's outskirts. A large wall protecting the inner city. You're actually outside the wall. You're in the countryside. But the city proper begins maybe a quarter mile until you can see the wall and then the city within.
Please tell me there's someone here that is trying to sell their mother.
If you go into the bazaar, probably. As you see,
Ooh.
you are in a you are at a stable. Most of the spots inside the fence is filled by camels, although you do spot a few more strange creatures. You spot a horse, sort of secluded in the back area with a mane of fire. You would hear the rather distressing call. It kind of sends chills down your spine. Can both of you guys roll nature?
Yeah, give me a sec.
Nature. Oh, look, it has a 5 in it.
Yeah. Not you, Eric. So Riku.
Oh, guess who has a 0? Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
look at that. Riku, you would recognize it to be a chimera.
Oh. Those days doing field research with Eric's paid off.
Yeah. There's also what looks to be a warehouse. In the back, kind of a few, maybe a tenth of a mile, leading from a path to this barn. Actually, don't you dare drop that on the chat, Eric's. I'm watching you.
Oh, crap.
You
I'm
don't
just
need that
all...
many dice.
Have you ever given a kid candy for the first time and they just brighten up? That's like Rock now, but like way worse. He's like bouncing.
As you guys are looking around, you eventually spot, in absolutely extravagant garb, none of you guys would have seen this yet, but what looks to be a man with fire for hair. His skin almost charcoal black. He looks over to you all, and with a gallant stroll, he meanders over with his one hand on his hips and the other kind of reaching out towards you. He says, "Welcome, friends! You are here to buy camel, yes?"
Oh my god.
I'm gonna look at him, and then look at the fire horse, and then look at him.
I will take that as a yes, as he reaches down and shakes your hand rather vigorously. My name is Hassan. You buy camel, yes?
Oh.
It will do anything you need, everything you need. You have
Rockrock's
good
gonna-
armor, it would kill for you.
Rockrock's gonna walk around like he wants that fire horse, but he's also super curious to see what else this guy has, or fire thingy.
Large curiosity. It will kill for me.
You can hear in your mind as you can kind of tell Shaluth might be listening along to your internal dialogue. He says he's a genocide. They're a little touched by the fire. And yes, this is how he normally is.
Rockrock's trying to hide the shudder of fire.
As you sort of look around the pens, you're overwhelmed by this almost foul scent of manure of every kind possible. You see you see an entire pen full of what looks to be insectoids, some of which with their large claws sort of tied shut, almost like a lobster with a rubber band around its claw. Some of which look at you rather intelligently, and you can tell are watching you with a little bit more thought behind their eyes than the average, camel.
I
And
would
by
not
God,
go-
there's a lot of camels. There's so many camels.
He's trying to get rid of the camels. 2 gold.
Oh yeah, as he's kind of gesturing to each and every camel, rattling off their individual names, saying, "Yes, I will give this one for you for 5 gold. It's a good deal. This camel will do good for you in life."
He's Right, hold on. I'm gonna. Rockrock's gonna fail to his own primal desires and just go straight over to the fire horse.
Ooh, yes, you have good eyes. This steed of pure fire. Frankly, I've been saving her for myself, but for the right price, I will gladly let her go for a different owner. Of course, the right price may be a bit too steep for you. Might I suggest the...
If he says a camel.
He was actually looking over towards the camel next to it. I will hear this offer that you have for me. How much will you offer for her?
So, just Rockrock grew up hearing stories about the fire horses.
Mm-hmm.
His sister's very infatuated with them, and so he knows that a good amount of for nightmares. So he's gonna go up to the horse and just look at it,
All right.
like if he's looking at a person, not an animal.
It's looking at you as it was actually eating something from one of the feed bins, and this feed bin actually looks to be filled with you can't tell what meat it is, but it's meat from some sort of large animal.
Camel.
Probably. Like 99%, that's exactly where it's coming from. They're overflowing with camels.
They breed like
Camels.
So, I know you can read all languages, but can you understand all languages?
Yes.
You can. Oh right, are you wearing the helm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rock also has comprehend languages too.
Do you have that running though?
He can.
All right,
Not
you
right
won't.
now.
You won't be for now.
Okay.
What languages can you understand?
Common and Draconic.
All right. Oh, never mind. I was reading this wrong, as it says nothing. Simply you watching. And as you kind of stare at it longer, it grabs one of the what looks to be a leg bone, and it's in its maw, looks at you and snaps down on it as the bone just completely shatters.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Sure. What do you want to find out?
See if it's trying to intimidate or what its intention is.
Go ahead. Looks kind of hungry.
He's gonna hop into the pin.
The Hassan reaches over, places your hand on your chest as you attempt to climb over. No. You get in the pen, you have to buy it first.
How much?
I told you to make an offer.
Hmm.
How much do you think she is worth to me?
10.
10 what? If you do not make an offer, I will make an offer that I don't think you will like.
10, and then he's just gonna be flashing zeros for like 10,000 gold.
10,000. Close. The least I will give her to you is for 20,000. You do know that number, yes?
He's just looking at the horse.
Strong desire.
He's gonna ask Sora what she thinks of the horse.
Do you like fire whores?
Says to you, I think they smell bad.
He's gonna chuckle.
I don't care for horses much. One
He's
tried to eat the hair of the doll once.
A nightmare tried to eat a doll of a hair once.
She didn't say a nightmare, she just said horses.
Oh, okay. The audio cut out for me.
Oh.
He's gonna look up to the fireman and say, what else do you have of rarity?
Yes, I have...
Camels?
Yes. All of these camels are rarities. You will not find them anywhere else. Strong, loyal, courageous. And they can survive on nothing but cactus.
He's gonna motion with his tail for the fire guy to come closer to him.
You know, I would roll an insight check against this guy, but I'm pretty sure he believes everything he's saying.
That may entirely be true. He kind of leans down.
And Rockrock's just gonna whisper into his ear, if you offer me a camel again, I will take your head. But I will buy camel later before I leave.
Excellent. It's good to see that I've secured your business. Now, on to more rare fare. I do have something that might interest you as well, as he starts to lead you into the barn. You are sort of almost overwhelmed with a wave of pure barn smell. Almost rotten hay, rotten meat as well, as the sound also almost just overtakes you.
It reminds them of home.
Inside is just a selection of various magical creatures, some of which don't like the light and have to be kept in these cages. And he looks towards one. He says, this one. Your friend told me that you wanted something with flight, so I believe this is one of the few things I have in stock right now that can do that. And you were looking at a 3-headed beast. The head of a goat, the head of a snake, and the head of a lion. I believe. Either way, it's a chimera, so.
Chimera.
Chimera.
Those things are so cool.
I gotta look up what the.
Yes, it's the head of a lion, the head of a goat, and the head of a dragon, actually.
Ooh, a head of a dragon.
It seems to be at the moment sleeping in the corner.
Ooh. He's never seen a chimera before. That's hope and dreams over logistics.
For this one, less than the fire horse. Excuse me?
What? I heard butthole. What?
That's a sound clip from God of War 4. One of the dwarves saying, and the details is fuzzier than a wolver's butthole.
Fucking hell.
How much?
But only 10,000.
That is better.
Honestly, personally, I think chimeras are cooler than,
of course
than nightmares too.
You will have to feed it. You have to feed everything here. And in that, I will give you... Well, the feed I had planned to feed it. Also, this accent's going all over the fucking place.
I can't
frankly,
tell if
he's almost insane.
I can't tell if it's getting more racist or less racist as you mix it up.
I don't know either.
Rock can't tell.
Shooting from the hip. We'll just say this is actually what he sounds like. Yes, I think that... Yes, I think it will keep it fed for maybe a week. And I will throw that in. Automatic. Free.
What was the animal?
Chimera.
Okay. No, what was the animal for a feed? Or did he just say feed?
Feed for the chimera.
Okay. I was about to say, did he offer camels?
I want to ask him what the feed is.
Well, it's actually, he looks towards you, Rock. Very delicious for the chimera.
Well,
is it called?
We need to feed the chimera after we run out of this initial supply, so what do we feed it?
I will gladly sell you more of it. And then you will see exactly what you need to feed it. Although, to be frank, it does like to eat meat. So if you feed it meat, I think it will be happy.
At that. Can I do an insight check?
What do you want to find out?
Find out if I can find out what he's actually trying to say.
Sure.
Because I have a feeling what it is, but
it likes to eat camel.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay,
You asked.
You broke me, Nova. He's just gonna rub his eyes with his tail. he's gonna go, what else do you have?
Defeat it?
No, to sell.
I believe that's all I have in stock right now. For flying things, at least.
Ooh. Damn it, giving me choices.
I like the Chimera. If you'd like my opinion.
Well, I can't say no to a giant three-headed beast with a dragon's head.
Chimeras are great.
Is there a check I can roll to see which one would be friendlier to interact with?
Be a nature
Probably-
check.
Animal handling?
Yeah, that'd probably be a better idea.
Okay.
Could I try rolling that too? If we're like trying to discuss this, because I'm there with
Yes.
them.
Yes, go ahead.
Useless.
Rock. You realize that both of them are, well, they're kind of assholes. That's like that's the best way I can put it.
Both of them are terrible choices.
You
Yeah.
just gotta assert your dominance. Come on, man. Any animal.
The nightmare would probably be easier to tame, though. So with the chimera. Actually, no, you would not know that. You would just know that they're an asshole.
He's gonna ask Sora what is her input.
She would probably say, frankly, I have no idea. I've never tamed an animal before, but they both seem hungry, so if you give them food, I think they'd probably do whatever you want.
He's gonna go. And you said the chimera.
What?
You said the chimera is sleeping.
Yes.
He's gonna say hi to it in Draconic, because he speaks to everything first in Draconic.
Does it understand that? That is the one language it can understand.
Are you serious?
Actually, just the one language. After a few seconds, sort of from behind its mask, you can see the dragon head kind of peek up from the back of the cage, and you can see those kind of reddish eyes peering out at you from the darkness. It doesn't move though; it simply stares.
He's gonna ask it, "Would you like to get out of here?"
It kind of snarls and, in a shocking display of sort of brutality, bites at the other two heads. As a brief fight breaks out between them, it eventually calms down as the chimera slowly stands and walks towards the front of the cage.
Okay,
Hassan takes a few steps back.
one moment.
I don't move.
What's up?
So from what I understand, it does understand Draconic. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Anir, I'm gonna refund this influence because, well, it already does. He gave an influence for it to understand Draconic. And I'm like, It
So one
threw me
time-
off because I'm like, I thought it already did. Did I miss something?
Rock's opening language move worked for once. Because since he's learned how to read and write, he's been speaking more and more common.
So yeah, Hassan takes a few steps back. The goat head, as soon as it reaches the edge of the cage, just rams at it, shaking it around quite a bit, but not doing any damage.
I don't move at all.
All right.
If it's trying to intimidate, it's never met a rock before.
It just stands there watching you.
It's met a rock, but not a rock.
I'm gonna reach my hand in.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
But looking at it, in a like intimidating.
Where's my D20? Oh yeah. The lion
I
head.
had a perfect picture for this.
The lion head
There's some for ya.
instantaneously snaps its jaw around your hand and pulls as hard as it can into the cage. Could you give me a strength saving throw?
Yeah. Our chimeras.
Actually, no. This is a check.
Large creatures, aren't they?
Yes, they are large creatures.
And kobolds are what? Small.
Small.
Oh.
But you're also very heavy and strong and wearing really thick, strong armor.
Yes, which that gives you the ability to not have your arm ripped off immediately. You're going to take. You're going to take 21 points of just straight up damage. No reducing it, as your arm is dislocated, but you managed to kind of hold on just long enough for Hassan to, kind of startled, reach into his pack to try to retrieve something. Give me one more strength check.
Can I like assist him?
Sure.
What is up with these 15s today?
Roll advantage on that one, Rock. There you go, one more.
Your arm is still in its jaws, though you're able to pull it back to the point where its maw is now against the railing.
Assert your dominance, Rock.
That's what he's going to try to do.
You do take another 27 points of damage, as you now feel a tearing in your shoulder, as your arm is still being wrenched out of your shoulder.
I headbutt it.
That would mean that you can't pull on your arm any further. You'd have to let it go in on this like tug of war.
You said that it's against the railing now?
Yeah, its maw is against the railing. You're about up to the middle of your forearm into its mouth as it's.
I want to reach in and open its jaws if I can.
Still has two other heads.
I know, but this one's against the railing, so I feel like it's a little bit difficult for it to get to that.
Okay, so you're just reaching like okay.
Yeah.
Give me a strength check. And Rock, one more from you.
With advantage.
Not with advantage. Actually, yes, not with advantage, but you are getting help from Raku in a different way.
Okay.
So I'll consider that. Awesome. You're going to take 18 more points of damage as at about the same time, Raku is able to pry open the jaw just a little bit. As Rock gives a final push and Hassan uses a spell scroll. As the chimera is instantaneously basically unconscious on the floor. Hassan looks over to you, Rock, as your right arm is basically hanging limp, a dull, throbbing pain from it, as you recognize it is very clearly dislocated. Why did you do that?
It's
Why are you
feisty.
running? That's what I
Why are
thought
you
Dom
running?
said that.
Rocky wants to do a medicine check to relocate his arm.
Dove, I
Go ahead and
posted
give that
something
one.
in the chat.
Dude, I'm about to break your arm.
Is this payback
Oh,
for the
There
toe?
we go.
Could
Oh,
you give me
man.
a Constitution saving throw, Rock?
I forgot about that.
I remember.
All right, Rock, you're able to stay conscious as Raku kind of very roughly pops your shoulder back into place. You kind of your knees almost buckle, but you're able to remain standing. You were saying it was
Feisty.
feisty?
And he's just grinning, despite almost being eaten part by the lion.
Your arm, you almost lost your arm.
It's the pure picture of joy on his face anybody has ever seen. Almost like insanity.
If you buy this one, I will add the price to the scroll. 10,500.
Oh, do.
What?
What does the scroll do? It's what he asked.
No, you're paying for the use of the scroll.
Yes. The scroll I use to keep you alive.
Yeah, he's asking what did it do?
Would put him to sleep.
Ah,
You're not getting a scroll, is what he's saying.
no, he got that. Like,
Oh,
he
okay.
understood that. He just didn't understand what the scroll did.
Okay.
He didn't know if it, like, paralyzed it, completely knocked it out, or what. I mean, I assume the lion's face is bigger than Rock is.
Yeah.
Ooh. Damn it, Dova hanging a carrot over front of a rabid rabbit.
Hmm.
I do like a challenge.
Let's
Did it-
pause
Make-
right there for a moment.
Just make sure he doesn't
Yeah.
eat any of the
Let's go to
kobolds.
the adventuring guys, because we haven't given you any attention for a long time.
Yeah,
Did you s- Yeah, I gotta think
Infil
about
and Eric's, what are you doing in the jungle?
I'd actually like to do something.
Yeah, what's that?
I'd like to use a spell I've had for a while. In
Eh.
Chult, of all places.
Absolutely, what is it?
Find Steed.
Ooh,
Fun spell.
that's a really fun spell. So it says you can
I've been
choose.
thinking about like doing it on the airship while we were flying, but then we'd have to keep it around.
Mm.
But boy, what would I find here?
It's a celestial, right?
It's a normal beast that is considered a celestial type for this.
I believe you can choose actually.
And yes,
Yeah,
you
you
can
can.
choose the animal that appears. I'd give some suggestions there. Do you have access to level 4 spells yet?
Not yet.
Crud. Because there is a Find Greater Steed spell in Xanathar's Guide.
Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe a surge of magical empower this. And it was like, oh, whoops. Hello, dragon?
You can get a Pegasus with the Find Greater Steed. But yeah, it takes on a
That
form
would be
you
very
choose.
interesting. However, the DM might also allow other animals to be summoned as steeds. It
Well,
says that
yeah.
right there.
Well, yeah.
The steed has statistics of your chosen form, though it is celestial, fey, or fiend, instead of normal type. Also, it has an intelligence of 5, or 6 or more, it gains the ability to understand one language of your choice that you speak. No, if it has intelligence of 5 or less, it becomes 6.
Okay.
So, gosh, what would I get here?
Anyways,
Also, I can communicate
you're
with it
gonna-
telepathically as long as it's within 1 mile.
Yes. Are you going to stay with that? Or do you have anything figured out yet? Because otherwise we can
I don't.
come back to you.
Because what would I get here? Probably a slightly modified selection. But the base list is not terribly impressive.
Well, it's kind of like a find familiar. You don't have to have the base animal available for you.
I know. It's just a warhorse, a pony, a camel, an elk, or a mastiff?
Dog.
Mastiff is a dog.
Oh,
For smaller characters.
It's
Like,
like
yeah.
Cujo.
it's a big old
but
dog.
less. That
Alright.
drools.
It's big
long as
enough
it's not a
that,
skeleton,
a
of
small
course.
character could ride it.
alright. I may have to think on that because the spell takes a while to cast.
All right.
Like 10 minutes.
Do it tomorrow.
Alright.
So you guys are gonna go through the jungle. Are you guys looking for anything in specific?
Eric's is looking for traces of a powerful animal that I've spoken to you about before, Dova.
Sorry, I got it.
One that I want to awaken and have a companion.
Is it the mighty giant squirrel?
Preferably something that's, able to actually, not be stepped on and squished.
A turtle then.
Actually, I have a spell that could help.
We got to locate an animal spell.
I think it's this one. Commune with nature. It allows me to gain knowledge of up to 3 facts of your choice about any of the following subjects as they relate to the area. One of them is prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or peoples. So obviously, I'm going to focus on animals.
Okay.
And I'll just use all 3 on that, looking for basically what's around. I've used this before to find the kobolds.
Mm. Hmm. Hmm. Thinking face. Give it a good thonk.
The greatest of funk.
Yep.
And this one I'd be
Meanwhile,
casting as a
So I'd probably be
ritual.
looking for edible plants.
This one I'd be
So-
casting as a ritual, so it'd be about 10 minutes anyways, so you've got time to cast your own Find Steed spell, Infel.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
All right. What kind of steed you looking for?
That's a very good question. Because,
I could do it for you.
sure, you know what? Surprise me.
All
what
right.
happens?
So, at about the same time you guys finish up with your first round of casting, and Eric's, you sense the location, the general location of a beast that reminds you of the remains that you walked across a few days ago. The remains of a rather large saber-toothed tiger.
All right.
You have a general location of it. So if you wanted to, you could go try to track it down. But in addition to that, through the underbrush, you hear a steady but almost heavy and loud the brushing aside of leaves, snapping of twigs and larger sticks beneath, as emerging from a rather dense bank of ferns and bushes is a large elk. Its eyes glowing white, very softly. Its kind of silverish fur with patches of green moss, what looks like. Its antlers are intertwined with a bit of vine, as well as a few totems hung from the outer antlers. It looks to you, Infel, and speaks.
Oh.
I am available for you, Master.
They can't
Fine
normally speak, but they
indeed.
can listen. They can understand.
Is that true?
The DM lets this happen.
Oh wait, there's telepathic communication. Never mind.
Yeah.
That too. Ignore me.
Come with me then.
It kind of leans its head forward and bows slightly. And follows along.
And they'll look over to Eric with a smile and say, "So, where's yours?"
Eric's,
what was
this-
the animal?
Eric's, this fucker's big! Like, compared to you especially.
I come up to
It's
like
about-
halfway up its leg, I'm guessing.
Mhm. It is an elk. While it is still an elk, it's kind of small for one. It seems to be more in line with the size of a horse. Thus, it won't be too bad to ride it. Because with big animals, riding it gets kind of complicated, especially with getting on and getting off.
Mhm.
Do we have an end time for tonight?
I figured another half hour. Whatever's
Okay.
up to you.
About the same. I am getting hungry.
Yeah, me too.
Yay. I think I might have some, actually, I don't know. I think I'll just have some frozen chicken on rice. That sounds good. A lot of cheese. A lot of cheese.
Try to unfreeze it first.
Well, yeah, it goes in the dang oven. I'm not eating chicken sushi.
Chicken rock.
Chicken tartare?
Sashimi.
Chicken tartare. No, it's chicken sushi. All right. I went to Japan once.
If you never had chicken
Yeah, I have
medium rare, you ain't living.
when I went over to Japan, all their meat was raw. That's why I'm doing with this here chicken.
If it ain't clucking, it's not eating.
I mean, I've heard people order steaks and they ask for it. Actually, no. I say people when I actually mean my dad. He'll order steaks so raw that, quote, he says this in a restaurant, that a talented vet could save it.
Ooh.
I usually hear I want to hear it move, but that's a good one.
Yeah, I just like
Yeah.
the way he words that one.
So, we'll jump back to you in one sec as you start to track down the saber-toothed tiger. Give me
Already?
a survival check for you. Eric's, please. Since you actually, oh Jesus Christ, yeah, that'll do it.
You know, there's something really weird going on. There is nothing in the chat box for me. I thought that's because he cleared it, but no, it's been blank for a while now.
Really?
Yeah, for some
The
reason.
chat box in Fantasy Grounds?
Yes.
That's weird.
Let me just
Are you in a
toss
different
something
tab?
in there real quick.
Do you see rolls?
You're not.
Do you see your own rolls?
Check. No.
We see your
the
roll.
Yeah.
Maybe
It didn't actually show. Oh yeah. Oh no,
yeah,
it did.
we can see yours. Maybe rely on the stream
Maybe I'll do that.
or try restarting Fantasy Grounds. Either one.
That too.
Probably a little
We're
late
not
to
gonna be
bother
going
trying.
much longer.
Yeah.
So, you come across a small clearing with where the river that's running kind of alongside your camp and sort of into the jungle, where it kind of widens out a little bit and gets shallow. You see, and could I get stealth checks from you both? Because Eric, you would
Yes.
recognize that you're getting close and you need to stay quiet. Infel, could you give me a stealth check, please?
Yes. And can I lucky that? Because
Yes,
I
you
don't.
can.
I'm gonna have to look on the stream, so I'm just gonna
And
roll one more
you
time.
dropped
Hold
an
on.
18.
So if you roll with lucky, you can basically just take that 18.
Oh, cool. I'd like that.
Yeah.
Because that's the way it's worded, because we figured that out before. How actually broken lucky is.
He gets to roll
You're correct.
again with it, but yeah,
I've
that
played
second roll
multiple-
is bad. Both of them.
I've played a few DMs. I've played a few DMs where like
Lucky is banned.
they would ban Lucky because it was so good. It turns disadvantage into super advantage.
Honestly, it's just it would be much better without the ability to pick the dropped die. Anyways,
Nah,
Just
like it
straight up
is.
roll again. Take the second one. I think that's okay.
well,
never
I
mind.
say roll
We're getting
again,
off
but then
point.
pick. But
So-
anyways,
Up ahead
Does
of
the
you,
yellow capture roll also?
as up ahead of you, you see a small clearing, and in it, as you kind of sneak through the bushes, Eric's, you end up stepping on a few dry leaves, but you don't think the saber-toothed tiger hears. I'll read that in just a sec, Razoroth. As you see, kind of drinking water by the riverside is a rather large saber-toothed tiger with grayish grayish stripes on its auburn fur. It does not seem to notice you. There's about 90 to 100 feet between you and it right now. If you're trying to say, oh, never mind.
well, the awaken spell is gonna take like 6 hours to cast. I think it was, or 12. So I'm definitely gonna need to bring it back. 8 hours. I was just in between. This is gonna be fun.
You cannot expect me to distract it for that many hours.
No, it will. We're whispering this very quietly to each other, I would assume.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, we are.
So what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to probably knock it out. I can try and soothe it a bit and get it to follow us. But just in case, we'll need to be ready to fight.
Huh. Alright.
So... How do I want to go about that?
It's a silly thing, but perhaps if we talk to it, it won't be immediately hostile.
I do have at least some pretty... Yeah. Speak with animals. I do have that available.
I do too.
So... yeah. Let's, That's a great idea. Let's start that first. I'm not gonna bother casting it as a ritual, because, well... You just...
Speak with animals?
Yeah.
Make a stealth check. It has a verbal component. It has a verbal component, correct?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, you stealth check or diplomacy?
Oh, stealth.
It was stealth. Jeez, it fell.
Oh! That was just for Eric's, by the way, who was casting the spell.
Oh, oops.
I think Infel was too.
Can I make him stealthy? Because I assume that was really good.
You got a double 19.
Oh, does that mean I successfully assist Eric?
You're also sitting still, so it's not going to notice you. It's probably going to notice Eric's, though. So as you finish casting the spell, there's a small sort of crackle in the air just in front of you as sort of a small rotating seal is just placed right in front of you for a moment before dissipating. As you blink, you can see that the saber-toothed tiger is now staring directly over at you, still hunched over from drinking, as a good amount of water drips from its obscured lips.
I still have a +9 to persuasion. So that's a good option. Anyways, I'm going to slowly walk out. My hands spread out in a what I would, kind of a peaceful gesture.
Info would like to
looking at the rather small creature coming out towards it. It doesn't seem too concerned and actually reaches down to get another drink.
Hello.
It's like whips its head to the side. The water that it was drinking now kind of flung all over the place. You speak like that.
I am very in tune with nature, yes.
And it's actually just kind of speaking through its mind at this point.
Oh, it's telepathic. Whoops.
It's sort of a telepathic thing. You can't
This
really
is a
understand
cool
it.
thing you found.
It's speak with animals allows you to communicate with them. It's a combination of a lot of things from what you understand about it. Body language, pheromones, verbal communication, stuff like that.
But to you, it seems like telepathy.
Yes. And to it looks like you're doing all those things. It's very complex. Kind of doesn't make sense, but you don't look too far into it because it kind of works.
Yeah. It's one of those, don't question it because it works.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It just kind of stares at you.
I've been looking for a companion to assist me and my fellows.
Companion?
Yes.
What is that?
Do you eat it?
Ally, maybe?
Ally? I'm trying to think of what it might understand for this.
Friend, pack.
Yeah, kind of a
work acquaintance.
A pride mate, maybe something. Someone to join
Member
our
of
pride.
family.
Family, yes.
Why should I join?
There's food in it for you.
We have plenty of food. I can make sure that you are well taken care of. I
Kind
can.
of sniffs the air and says, I do not see food.
I will pull out. I have rations.
Intel feels the need to protect his elk.
I was about to say, I don't know if rations are gonna satisfy it, but like,
We have this here and plenty more back with us. I can also offer to give you. I'm trying to think of the way to word this. Convey what the awaken spell does.
awareness and intelligence.
Give me a persuasion check.
Dova, if it's bad, will you let me use my inspiration after the roll?
I believe that is how inspiration works.
It's after the roll, but before you know it succeeds or not.
Oh, yes.
It's essentially just gives you advantage.
Oh, never mind.
Oh.
There you go.
As you're watching from the from inside the tree line, Eric's kind of slowly starts to make his way out, and you can hear him making a few low grunts, and just doing some really weird stuff. But eventually, you watch as he actually makes his way up to the saber-toothed tiger. Sort of hands out a handful of what looks to be kind of stale-ish bread, some dried-out meats and sausages, as well as some nuts and fruits. The saber-toothed tiger kind of sniffs through it for a moment. The head of the saber-toothed tiger, almost as big as Eric's, and just kind of licks up the offering of food in his hands. As he says to you, Eric's, I will become your friend for food.
Thank you. We can offer
Ask him
more.
if-
I also can offer.
Yeah, imagine taking him into the mansion.
I was about to say, ask if he enjoys fighting, because that's probably going to be in his future.
We may have foes that try to drive us away, which I will defend you if you defend me. I can heighten your awareness and allow you to speak with my companions better.
Food first.
Yes.
Welcome to the Speak with Animals spell.
I
don't think there's animals that don't care about food.
I will tell him. Well, follow me. We just got that giant tuna. Was it a tuna? It was a tuna.
Catfish.
No, it's a catfish.
Oh, catfish, giant catfish.
Catfish
That's-
bleed, by the way.
Huh?
Like red blood, like a lot of red blood.
Oh,
I'm just saying that. Fun fact.
we'd still have quite a bit of it left over, though, right?
Yeah. You really haven't been digging into it that much.
Well then, if you follow me, we have fish back at our camp. Our home.
Just kind of nods and follows you. Could you give me an animal handling check?
Ha!
Very nice. All right. How long does that spell last?
It is 10 minutes, but whenever it's near the end, I will recast it.
Make sure you're keeping track of the spell slots.
Yeah.
Well, isn't this a ritual cast or?
It is ritual, but it can be cast in one action.
Alright.
Basically, it's a cast, but you have the option of ritual. That's what ritual spells are. And a ritual spell just adds 10 minutes to the cast time.
Okay. So as you're making your way back to the camp, you have to cast that 2 more times to keep up animal, the speak with animals.
All right.
And you're about 5 minutes into that last casting when you finally break into the clearing and the tiger kind of spots the encampment far out. Yes, I smell the food.
We have a lot of food.
Tell him not to kill kobolds.
Yeah, do not attack my family. They look similar to myself, as well as the larger one here.
Hey.
So
We have fish.
big lizards, not the food?
No. We have fish.
Why not?
He is also part
Can
of the
I
family.
can I have one?
No.
He's negotiating. What if I only eat one of them?
I like
Not
this
very
cat.
many. Can I? Why not?
I don't
There's
understand.
one you can try with.
But he might bite back.
It's only one.
No, we can't do that. We are a family.
I'm hungry though.
Well, there is food in here, just not that.
That is not, there is food that is not lizards.
What kind of food is it?
Fish. I assume that all cats know what fish is.
Yes.
Yes, but not all cats like fish.
I-
My cat hated fish, but loved string beans.
I like fish more than lizard.
Awesome.
I can swim and get fish.
I will lead him into the little encampment and
All right.
show him directly to the basically the practically whole catfish.
All right. The kobolds have scattered at this point. They are having nothing to do with this.
Surprise!
Just when I feel like I'm getting used to all this.
Wait until Rock comes back with the chimera.
With the chimera.
Infel will mount his
Gonna be an
elk and
actual-
step forward, hand raised, and say, "It's fine. Eric's has this one."
It's just a
That
good thing
that kind of calms their nerves. They're still, they don't like every
But
single
do
instinct
stay
they're
inside when
going
you
off
see
right
it.
Riseroth does say that a Tet would be curious.
Okay. Yeah, one of the kobolds, one of the ones more talented with combat, was sort of helping around. Would be much closer than the rest of the kobolds, and kind of watch the proceedings as the saber-toothed tiger basically demolishes the catfish. Like any hope of getting any more meat off of it is dashed.
I was planning all
Hey,
of
we
it
actually
going
have
to
a-
him.
Hey, we actually have a recent hunt for food now. We
Hmm.
didn't have one of those for like the longest time.
I will, while the Sabertooth is eating, I will turn to Tet and be like, "Hey, could you infel you as well? Maybe go grab some more."
Sure, why not? Get me a
yeah.
spear.
Gladly. Sorry, Riseroth, I didn't.
I don't
Infel
know
will
about
probably
that.
go get a
Yeah,
Alright,
it's
so
Riseroth.
fishing spear.
Okay. I'm not sure on his character, so I kind of just. I mean, if you could send me a quick summary of what he's like, I think that would be pretty good, pretty cool.
We should probably have
It's all
something like
good.
that in the in the
the
Cobalt
roster.
clan.
We will get some more info on that soon.
Excellent.
Soon, TM.
So I think you guys will be good for now. Cobalt, we're gonna go back to you
Yes,
as we've not focused on you for a long time.
correct.
So you go and meet up with the dean.
Yes.
As you see the woman with kind of cropped hair, as you kind of sit down just in front of her desk, she says, "So you actually okay? You came back. Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you came back.
So how are you? Did your class go well? Class?
I don't know how many classes did I take today.
Just the one today.
Yeah, the class was great. It was kind of boring though.
Well, that's understandable given your expertise." So she kind of trails off. She kind of shuffles through some papers and she says, "I suppose this is about you helping us, right?"
Yes.
Wonderful. We do have a sort of a study lab for you. We're really just interested in how you managed to attain such an expertise with in such a short time, relatively speaking.
With
As
golems or just
Trial
in
by
general?
fire.
in general, as many of us humans spend entire lifetimes working up towards, well, perhaps not even where you're at today. So if there's something behind it, we would be rather interested in finding out what.
Okay.
You will be allowed time in our research labs. I think I said that before, but you will be required to write reports to us on what you're actually doing, and we will be watching at some points, just taking notes, stuff like that. I believe that's it. I believe we'll have special requests from you from other professors that you'll have to fulfill if you want to keep the scholarship, but yes, I believe that's all I really have for you.
Oh, I want to. While I'm here, I want to show her the new mouse golem that I made. Actually, the rat one, the mouse one, I haven't done yet.
Finish the mouse golem.
Yeah, I want to show her. Wait, they had names. Give me a second.
Yes, I saw that note.
Rocky and Carmichael.
Which one's the rat?
They're both rats.
Okay,
This is
so
the
that-
two, remember?
Oh, yeah.
That I made at the same time?
As you basically reach into a bag of holding and plop down two stone and iron rat golems. They kind of sniff around on the desk for a moment before kind of looking over the edge and getting ready to jump off.
I'm gonna put my hand in their way so they don't do that, like you do to a normal pet.
That is... wow. She kind of reaches out and sort of briefly touches the nose of one of them as it kind of reaches up and sniffs the air towards her. They're very tame.
Yeah, I've had them for a little while now.
How little is a little while?
How long, Dova? Like a few weeks?
Maybe a few weeks.
Yeah, maybe a few weeks. I made them a few weeks ago.
So you... okay.
I mean,
Would you be able to show us your techniques along
I'm
with
gonna
us?
give one a little pebble.
You can hear a very, very sharp sort of crunching noise as it actually starts to eat the pebble. She kind of reaches forward and brushes away some of the rock dust that it left behind. So yes, along with this, I suppose we can give you allowance of materials to make more golems.
Cobalt's ears perk up.
It is your interest, right? This isn't something that you bought, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
His tail
yes.
starts thumping excitedly against the floor.
I believe. Do you have any questions at all? Because if not, that's really all I have for you. We'll have documents coming to you to sort of detail everything. The address that... could I get your current address, actually?
I'm
you
gonna
get
take
our
out
letters?
a map and point. I'm gonna take out a net map and point at the at Chult for her.
Hmm. I'm going to guess that you're using the teleportation circle.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Do you have... We have drop boxes here for mail. If you want one for your own.
She means like a mailbox.
Yeah,
that I
basically a
can-
PO box.
Sure. Yeah, that'll work.
Wonderful. The address, it does work, right?
Yes.
Okay, well-
we have a magic mansion cart.
Wonderful.
Of course you do.
Of course,
you do.
of
Why
course.
wouldn't you?
Listen. I'll send the mail to there instead, as it seems to be working.
Okay.
We do have a limited amount of PO boxes after all. Anything else? Any other questions?
How much longer do I have to stay in the boring classes? Talking
Until
about
they're
the one that-
done.
Okay.
Listen. You told me yourself that you haven't actually had any formal education. Thus, you need to have a formal education if you want to work here, if you want to gain the benefits of this college.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess that's it. I'll pick up Rocky and Carmichael.
All right.
I found it neat that they don't have to breathe, so I can just put them in a bag of holding.
They seem to be quite disoriented when they come out, though.
I mean, they won't stand there forever, just when I'm traveling.
All right. As you head back home, your class is done for the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There was one thing I wanted to check on, though.
Sure.
Like, a few sessions ago, there was a thing between Iastal and Gestalt.
Yes.
Yes, and Gestalt said he would talk to Iastal about potentially coming to me about her issues. And I was wondering if there's any progress on that.
Well, Iastal did not come to you yet, so
Hmm.
maybe not. It's also only been, what, like a day and a
few
half?
days. Has it only been a day and a half?
It's only been like a day and a half.
I have plans for this, and I want
Hmm.
to I want to do them.
We'll get to them. But I believe that's going to be it for this session, actually.
I know what I'm gonna do with the stuff,
What are you
Well,
gonna
you
do with the stuff?
or with the mounts, or do you want to wait till next session?
I mean, if you can wrap it up here in a few minutes, then yes.
Oh yeah.
Did you make a decision?
Yes.
All right, let's hear it.
Two things, because one, I completely forgot I had this move, Awaken Mind, so I can telepathically communicate my intentions with it.
All right.
Yep. So he's gonna do that, probably to the Dragonhead, because the Dragonhead seems the dominant thing, and give it the offensions of, I want you to be my partner, a battle buddy, a friend, and that I'm as feral as you are, if not more.
The Dragonhead responds, saying, "Do not want to be subservient. Shall not be under."
Not under, equal,
The goat rams the cage again.
if not higher.
I don't know if you should say that.
Higher.
We fight
It's gonna
at an equal term.
insight check you on that.
Okay.
I don't know if you should have said higher, because that's a blatant lie.
He's
But you know,
oh look, not a 5.
Well, you can't. I don't think you can roll insight against that. I think it has to be if you're trying to hide that fact. So deception.
Deception.
why would you lie to this thing?
No, he was going into a reason why he said.
Are you speaking to all the heads, or just focusing on the draconic head?
Just the Draconic head. It seems
kinda-
to be the smarter one.
It looks at you curiously
It's like,
before sort of thinking it over and giving a brief nod with another show of brutality. It basically gives another succession of bites and jabs towards the other heads. And after a series of growls and shows of dominance, it basically backs away from the front of the cage. This is, of course, after it woke up a few minutes after you put it to sleep, after
Yeah.
Hassan put it to sleep.
of course.
And it basically sits in the middle of the cage. The lion head growls angrily as the goat head, you can tell, is trying to push the body towards the front of the cage again.
So, if I had to guess, I feel like the lion head was in the middle and the dragon and the goat are on each side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rock's gonna go, we fight on equal terms. Decisions are made with your
Input.
higher input.
Could you give me another?
You're still
Perception
lying
check.
to
You're
it.
giving them you're basically dividing them now.
No, when he says higher input, he means the whole body. He's just directly talking to the dragon head.
What is...
He's not lying.
You
He's just
gonna
not good with words, so it comes off as lying.
roll the 20.
It almost seems to be plotting now. And it seems to calm down a little bit.
You're gonna make us fight this chimera, Rock. And you're gonna
Rock
be
is
sad.
not a smart man, but he's a wise man.
So are you gonna buy it?
Yes.
All right. That's 10,500.
He's gonna walk into the cage to prove a point.
Are you sure about this?
Again, did you not see my
We're gonna
Oh.
take care of this next session
Yeah.
because I think it's gonna be fun.
That's what Rock's here for, to have the moments.
Great fun!
I know.
Right, boo?
But yeah, that's the session. I'm calling it. I'm hungry as fuck. I'm sorry. I'm hungry as frick.
Hungry as heck.
Hungry
Watch
as
your
frig.
fucking language. This is a Christian
God
goddamn
fucking damn it.
server.
Fuck you.
And there goes all of my
What do
YouTube
you-
monetization.
What do you mean you're at soup?
Cobalt's gonna come back. There's gonna be Cobalt's gonna come back, and there's gonna be this giant ass chimera and this saber-toothed tiger out of nowhere.
I mean, I did make a stone golem copy of one of our dead friends, or presumably dead friends, so I shouldn't be surprised.
Choice.
Cobalt as himself. I didn't realize it said that. That's great.
Anyways, thank you all so much for joining us this evening. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for that follow there, Mr. Solitar. Oh, geez, that's a lot of sessions a week. I'm looking to get into my third here shortly. But anyways, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. You guys make sure that I can keep bringing you this content. I will be back tomorrow. And I'm going back to kindergarten.
Excuse me?
The game,
Remember to-
kindergarten. Oh, it is a... Have you not seen kindergarten?
No.
You have
What's
to
it
come
about?
see this movie. You have to come see this game.
It's pretty
will
great.
try to look as I finish up some work for my class and then eat. 'Cause
One scene that I remember is the janitor beating your character over the head with a mop until you are just a bloody mess.
I know
Yeah.
what game you're talking about.
That's before you even get into class, isn't it?
Yeah, that can happen
What?
before you get into class, yeah.
Excuse me?
It's a beautiful
Oh, boy,
game.
This game is a trip. Let me tell you.
Is this a flash game?
No. It's a game on Steam. It's like $5 or something, I think.
Oh, so it's $5 Steam game. Got it.
It's actually good quality for that.
Well, I know, but it's $5 Steam game is like its own genre, basically.
Anyways, that's what I'll be back with tomorrow. And yes, Anir, I actually picked that up with your donation of Steam cards. So, what's happening tomorrow is all thanks to you. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you all adieu.
Bye, everybody.
Remember to feed your chimera.
Why?
Mm.